In this scenario, Minato is Fugaku's brother, making him an Uchiha instead of a Namikaze. They had their sibling rivalry as all siblings do, but they were also rivals as shinobi. Fugaku became the head of the Uchiha and Minato became the 4th Hokage as usual. However, he was more feared in the nations as he was not only fast, but he had the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. On the night of the Nine-Tails attack, Minato's Sharingan flashed to life out of pure rage at the masked man who posed a threat to Kushina and his newly born son. His Sharingan helped him to see the paper bombs faster, but he still had to leave Kushina on her own with the masked man to save Naruto. When he left Naruto, he went to save Kushina like usual, and it goes relatively the same. Minato did more. What? No, Minato had more of an edge in the fight while his Sharingan is active. I can't fucking write. To the point of making the fight quicker as he can see the subtle distortions in chakra when Obito phases. Unfortunately, it wasn't fast enough to stop the Nine-Tails rampage. If anything, the fact that Minato is an Uchiha makes the QB even more ferocious. When he sees Minato's eyes, Minato's first thought was to put the Nine-Tails under a Genjutsu, but knowing about the prowess of the Uchiha clan, the Nine-Tails closes his eyes. He then targets towards Minato's chakra with his claws. Kushina jumps in front to save both Minato and Naruto, however she wasn't fast enough to push Minato out of the way, so they both got impaled by the claws of the beast. With no other option in mind, Minato decides to put half the Nine-Tails into Naruto and half into himself using the Reaper Death Seal. Kushina starts telling Naruto that he should eat right and not get too upset when things aren't going his way. That life may be tough, but he has his father's will of fire, to which Minato adds that he has his mother's strength inside of him as well, as their chakra, should he ever need help with the Nine-Tails. As they both pass away, Fugaku and the 3rd Hokage arrive to see the lifeless bodies of Minato and Kushina, as well as hearing Naruto's blood-curdling scream. Before Hiruzen can even take a step closer, Fugaku sweeps up his newborn nephew and tells him that Naruto belongs to the Uchiha clan, and that he will treat his brother's son like one of his own. But before Fugaku can leave, Hiruzen reminds him that he is not just an Uchiha, but he must be the new Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails, and as such this is a matter of utmost importance to the safety of Konoha. Fugaku realizes that this is a matter that must be discussed with the council and the village elders. An emergency meeting is called by Hiruzen to decide what to do with Naruto. Fugaku votes that he, as an Uchiha, has the best chance is to live in the Uchiha compound with the rest of his clan. To his surprise, quite a few council members, including the Hokage, agreed with this, as the Uchiha would be the safest bet to keep Naruto in check, and turn the Nine-Tails, and in turn, the Nine-Tails with their Genjutsu prowess. The only one to really dispute this was Danzo, who thought he should be trained by him and his Anbu to be an asset to the League. After losing the vote, Danzo swears that he isn't the end of this. He says this to himself, but Hiruzen can tell that his old rival is planning to do something. He keeps this to himself for now, as they have bigger things to deal with at the moment. So we skip ahead to when Naruto is 4 years old, and he has had a fairly normal family life. He had a very close relationship to Itachi, as he looked up to him as an older brother, and Sasuke, as they are both the same age and they are cousins. Naruto was made aware that he is adopted at his 4th birthday, which was only a few weeks prior, but he wasn't that bothered, as this was the only family he had known, and he was very happy. Well, at home at least. Whenever he went into the village, he was avoided by the villagers. They would have called him names and thrown things at him, but they were too afraid of what the Uchiha clan might do to them, which made it worse for him, actually, as he bore both the hatred towards the Uchiha and the Nine-Tails. This made him more determined to get their respect. He was less childish, but still annoyed several of the villagers with his antics. such as drawing all of the Hokage faces. He was shunned for this, even more so than previous. So ran home after being forced to clean the faces. As he ran home, he ran into Itachi, who asked Naruto why he was so upset. Naruto explained what happened to him, and Itachi responded, "I understand why you did what you did, but you need to be patient with the people of the village. People don't like what they don't understand." Naruto asked what he means by don't understand, but Itachi just waved him off, saying that he'll tell him when he's older. After this interaction, it only made Naruto more determined to gain the villagers' respect. He asked if he could train him, which made Itachi smile slightly. He said he would start with light training tomorrow along with Sasuke. The next couple of years showed the difference in power between Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke was better with kunai, shuriken, and ninjutsu, while Naruto was more adept when it came to strength and just war power, as he has more chakra but less control. This is where their rivalry started. Sasuke had all the natural talent, but they both noticed how fast Naruto learns and gets stronger, which pleasantly surprised Itachi and Fugaku. Sasuke in turn starts working harder, which makes Naruto train harder, trying to stay even, or actually surpass Sasuke completely. Due to this domino effect, they both become a lot stronger and a lot more skilled to that of beginning level by the time they enter the academy. The academy years go relatively the same, but with Naruto and Sasuke being neck and neck when it comes to practical training. Naruto is more knowledgeable when it comes to academics, but not by much. He gets slightly higher scores, but that's about it. This is where people look down on him for his brains, not his brawn, as most of the kids have been told not to hang around with him. Shut up, Bone. The exceptions to this are Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino, as they all came from clans that had close ties to Minato, and know that being a Jinchuriki is a hard life as it is. Like normal, all the girls swarm towards Sasuke, but they are divided when it comes to Naruto. Hinata still likes him for what he did when she was being bullied, and Ino respects him as a fighter and a person. However, Sakura is still a bitch to him like usual, which usually annoys Sasuke as he sees him as a brother and his best friend. Sasuke tends to keep this to himself, but he always either clenches his jaw, or sometimes, depending on what people say, his fist. Every time there was a practical test of strength, Naruto and Sasuke were always pitted against each other, as they were the closest in skill and tactics. They enter the circle and both tell Iruka that they are ready. Iruka says begin, but neither of them move, as they are waiting for the other to make the first. After several seconds, Naruto makes the first move, running towards Sasuke. He throws a left hook, which Sasuke dodges. Sasuke then tries to sweep Naruto's legs, and Naruto jumps over it. They go back and forth for several minutes, showing the fruits of their training and the finesse of a mid-tier genin. Eventually, they start using ninjutsu. Sasuke uses a fire-style fireball jutsu, and Naruto uses wind-style gale palm, which explodes the fireball, but increases its size by 2 times. The reason Naruto knows wind-style ninjutsu is because Itachi had tested their chakra natures and found that Naruto's is wind and fire, while Sasuke's is lightning and fire. Knowing that no one can see him, Naruto uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He learned this from Itachi during training, seeing as he couldn't use the normal clone jutsu due to his lack of chakra control. He launched his clone through the fire. Sasuke was expecting Naruto to attack as he knew of his regenerative abilities. The clone threw a punch straight for Sasuke's face, which he caught and pinned him to the floor, not knowing that it was a clone. Iruka was about to declare Sasuke the winner when the clone poofed away and the real Naruto kicked the now shocked Sasuke out of the circle. Everyone's jaw dropped, having seen this, except Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke was annoyed at this loss, but also weirdly proud of how strong his brother is, and how fast he came up with that tactic mid-fight. Sakura, on the other hand, was fuming and mouthing off, saying that Naruto cheated and that he could never beat her Sasuke. Yeah. Before Naruto and Sasuke could say anything, Ino chimed in, telling her to shut up and stop putting Naruto down. He won fair and square. Naruto said nothing, but Ino could tell that he was thankful that she said something before he or Sasuke did. One day, Naruto and Sasuke were training after the academy, pushing chakra into their eyes, trying to unlock their Sharingan. Sasuke notices that Naruto's eyes have a slight red tint to them. Knowing that Naruto may have gotten stronger than him to be able to get closer to unlocking his Genkai, Sasuke put more chakra in a desperate effort to obtain the Sharingan faster. His nose starts to bleed due to the effort and the strain being put onto him. Naruto stops and his eyes go back to their normal black as he rushes to Sasuke, checking if he was okay. Sasuke says he feels like crap and they should probably head home as it's getting quite late. While heading back, Sasuke tells Naruto that he thinks Naruto is on the brink of obtaining the Sharingan due to the slight color change. Naruto is shocked but remembers that the blood under Sasuke's nose seemed to run slightly slower than the more chocolate he puts into his eyes. This made him happy but still worried about Sasuke putting too much strain on himself trying to keep up. Naruto tells Sasuke that they have plenty of time to unlock their eyes as they aren't even gaining yet, and it's still remarkable that they are this strong at this age. But what they see next horrifies them both to their very core. They make it to the compound and see several members of their clan on the floor, bloody and lifeless. They both look on in horror and fear that their families could be killed so easily. That's when they notice that they can't see their parents or Itachi among them, and they both split up to find them. All Naruto finds is more bodies and more blood. Horrified to notice that none of the clans had weapons in their hands, meaning that they were butchered where they stood, with no chance or time to defend themselves. He started getting angrier than he ever had before, which woke up the Nine Tails. Knowing that he wouldn't be able to escape, as this was the first time he had been awoken, and the seal was still too strong, he let out a little bit of his chakra which goes into Naruto's eyes. Naruto clenched his eyes in pain as they felt like they were burning. When the pain subsides, he looks into a piece of broken glass on the floor and noticed that the Sharingan had been activated at one tomoe in both eyes due to his rage. Naruto then heard Sasuke screaming from the other side of the compound and runs as fast as he can to his aid. Before this, we see Sasuke run to his house hoping that his parents are still alive. When he gets there, he can hear his dad speaking. He can't make out what he's saying, but he sounded upset. And he could hear his mum crying and talking. All I could make out was one word: Itachi. He ran upstairs ready to fight whoever was the cause of this horrific crime, but he stopped dead in his tracks when he walked through the door and sees his parents falling over in a pool of blood. And Itachi stood there, with his Sharingan activated and blood dripping off his sword. He asked Itachi why he did this, and his response scared Sasuke more than anything ever did in his life. Itachi replied, "To test my abilities, younger brother," in the coldest tone Sasuke had ever heard. Itachi then flashed his Mangekyo Sharingan, putting Sasuke into a Genjutsu. As Sasuke falls under this illusion, he screams loudly and unlocks his Sharingan momentarily before he sees his parents' death over and over again. Itachi, seeing that Sasuke briefly unlocked the Sharingan, is proud of his younger brother, knowing that he will indeed be a strong shinobi. While Naruto is running to the house after hearing Sasuke's scream, he sees someone leaping from the top of the building. With his Sharingan still activated, he can see the man's face. It's Itachi. Naruto is motionless, thinking that it can't possibly be the man who he looked up to all his life. It can't possibly be his elder brother who murdered the clan club Cold Blood. It can't be the reason Sasuke was screaming. While these thoughts were going through his mind and Itachi jumping overhead. A drop of blood landed on Naruto's face from Itachi's sword. As Naruto comes to the realization that Itachi had murdered everyone that he had ever called family, he noticed that Itachi was saying something, but he was too far away to hear what he was saying and he couldn't read his lips, as he was moving too fast to make it out. Naruto puts this thought to the back of his mind for now, as he still needs to see if Sasuke is okay. When he gets to the house, he sees Sasuke getting up off the ground and shaking uncontrollably in both fear and rage. When Sasuke sees Naruto and the Sharingan, he immediately attacks him, thinking it must be Itachi standing there admiring his handiwork. Naruto dodges this and tells Sasuke that it's him and that Itachi is gone. Sasuke stops trying to attack and he tries to stop himself from crying. Sasuke then tells everyone that Sasuke tells Naruto everything that had just happened, but Naruto, after piecing it together for himself, just keeps staring at Sasuke. What Sasuke didn't notice was that while talking about the events that happened only a few minutes before, his Sharingan had reawakened. Fuck's sake. After they both tell each other what they had experienced, they fell silent. After a few moments, Naruto pulls out a kunai and stabs his hand, letting blood pour out of his palm. Sasuke then takes the kunai, doing the same. They both make a vow that for the rest of their lives, no matter how long it may take, they will find out the real reason Itachi had done this and get justice for their family. Over the next few years, they both train harder than ever in the academy and in their spare time. Everyone notices the change in both of the Uchihas. Sasuke becomes more distant from everyone except for Naruto, and Naruto stops pulling pranks and becomes more serious about his life as a shinobi. They both come out with the highest scores of anyone in the class in all subjects, especially when it comes to fighting ability. They are both faster and stronger than even that of Mizuka, which shatters his dreams of getting Naruto to steal the scroll ceiling from him. Oh, poor Mizuka. They are so much more powerful than their canon selves. At this point in the story, I'd say that of when they finish the Land of Waves mission. They both pass the graduation exam with flying colours, and Iruka is torn between who to give the Rookie of the Year. He mulls over this for some time, going over the exam scores and even pitting them against each other in another match, but they both hate each other at the same time, with all the strength they can muster, and throw each other out of the ring. Iruka, after thinking about it, wishes he could give it to Naruto due to how much he has grown, but instead asks Hiruzen if he can make both of them the Rookies of the Year. Hiruzen takes a hit from his pipe and looks at the scores. He then tells Iruka that this time only he would allow it, as he would have been more than willing to let both of them become Genin about a year ago. So the two Uchihas are named Rookies of the Year by Iruka, and on the last day Iruka tells his students how proud he is of them for how far they had come and that he is thankful to be their teacher. Sakura is ecstatic that Sasuke is the Rook of the Year and congratulates him, not acknowledging that both him and Naruto had this title. This irritated everyone in the class, even the Sasuke fangirls. Before anyone could say anything, Hinata stands up and asks Sakura why she's always been such a bitch to Naruto. This stuns Naruto because he never thought of Hinata to be the confrontational type, let alone defend him. Hinata, realising what she had just said, and that Naruto is looking at her, blushes, then hides her face in her arms on the desk, thinking it was stupid that she just did that. Naruto, however, walks over to Hinata and says, "Thank you for standing up for him." She looks up at him, and all she sees is that charming smile that she fell in love with the first time they met. This put her at ease, but she could feel her cheeks burning with how red they had gotten. Iruka, now getting the attention back to him, tells the class the teams they will be put on. The teams are still the same as canon. Hiruzen had put a handwritten note that Naruto and Sasuke will be on the same team, despite that they had both had the highest scores in the class. This is due to the deal that Itachi made with the village elders. He told them to keep Sasuke safe, but also that both him and Naruto need to stay together with Shinobu. Danzo asks why they should bend to his terms, to which Itachi tells him that they have a strong rivalry. They keep pushing each other to become stronger, which keeps Sasuke safe and makes your asset even stronger to protect the leaf. He says this to appease the council, but Hiruzen knows it's because he doesn't want his little brother to be separated from the only family he has left. Back to Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura. Fucking hate her. They all sat waiting for their Jonin instructor after everyone else had already gathered their teams. Sakura wants to talk to Sasuke, but Hinata's words from before keep circling her mind. She starts to think that maybe her blatant ignorance towards Naruto is truly wrong, and that maybe she should show him some kind of friendship. I mean, they are going to be on the same team after all. By the time she gets up the nerve to talk to both Naruto and Sasuke and apologise for how she acted towards him, the door opens and stood in the doorway is Kakashi Hatake. With no eraser falling on his head and seeing the determined looks on Naruto and Sasuke's faces, he decides that this team may be different from the others he's had in the past. He takes them to the roof and asks them their likes and dislikes just like in canon. Sakura goes first, and she says that her likes are reading and being around, and she glances at Sasuke. She says her goal is, again, glancing at Sasuke. Then she says that her dislikes are ignorance and pointless hatred. This catches Naruto and Sasuke off guard, as she's been arrogant and a stuck-up arsehole for as long as they have known her. Now it's Sasuke's turn. He says that his likes are training with Naruto and getting stronger to avenge his clan. He dislikes a lot of things, but most of all his older brother for what he did, and that his goal is to avenge the clan and restore the Uchiha to their full glory. Kakashi, after listening to this, thinks that Sasuke might get himself killed if he goes down this road, but there is still time to possibly change his path before he goes too far. Lastly, it's Naruto's turn. He says that his likes are ramen and getting stronger. His dislikes are people who look down on him, even though he's one of the strongest genin in their year. And that his goal is to get justice for his clan, and then become the Hokage so everyone will stop treating him like scum. Kakashi, after hearing all of this, thinks that it's quite an interesting team. He's seen the way they reacted to Sakura's dislikes, and plans to learn if she's telling the truth. And he thinks that maybe if Naruto and Sasuke get strong enough, they could possibly achieve their goals without going down a dark path. He tells them that those are some interesting goals, and that tomorrow he is going to test their resolve in a final exam before they officially become genin. He tells them to meet him at the training field tomorrow and to not eat breakfast, otherwise they'll puke. And with that, Kakashi disappears and they head off home. While walking back to the compound, Naruto and Sasuke are talking about what the test could possibly be and the best ways that they could pass. They quickly come to the conclusion that it was most likely a spar against Kakashi based on the fact that he openly said don't eat breakfast or you'll puke, and the fact that he's also a Jonin of some renown. When they get back to the compound, they see Hiruzen stood there waiting for them. Both Naruto and Sasuke are visibly shocked that the Hokage is there, just waiting, and wonder if they did something wrong. However, he simply congratulates them both on becoming the Rookies of the Year and hands them each individual scrolls containing jutsu from the Uchiha clan and the Uzumaki clan. Side note, the whole reason I started writing this was because I wanted to write something that involves the Uzumaki side more than canon does. Because canon just kind of says, oh yay, strong life force, but you don't really see anything else with Naruto. But anyway, they thank the Hokage, and he tells them that he's expecting great things from both of them. Naruto replies, well, there's no fucking pressure there then, is there? to which Hiruzen just chuckles and then goes away. As they get home, they both open up their respective scrolls and activate their Sharingan. Both about one turbo each, but they have trained to the point that it takes very little chakra to maintain. They analyze the scrolls, and something catches Naruto's eye. The adamantine chains. I don't know how you pronounce that. Fuck off. It says that the Uzumaki chains of pure chakra that come out of their bodies, that if the user is strong enough, can even subdue a tailed beast, like Kushina did with Kurama. So Naruto instantly goes outside to try and practice this and see if he can do it. He tries for hours, but he can't seem to get him out of his body. He can feel his chakra molding into chains, but they don't seem to want to come out. He tried it coming from his chest, that didn't work. He tried from his back, but that didn't work either. So he puts this on hold. Like, I'll try later. And just works on the jutsu he already knows, like Shell Clones and the Fire Style and Wind Star. Sasuke, however, finds one jutsu he really likes the sound of because he's a bit emo. Great Fire Annihilation. He practices jutsu, but can tell that because it takes so much chakra, that it should either be used to end a fight quickly, or in a literal life or death situation, because it could be the death of him with no chakra. Because take your chakra to 0, you're dead. He smiles to himself, thinking this jutsu could be the end of Itachi, as long as he can master it, that is. Naruto and Sasuke spar off a training by themselves in order to train their Sharingan further, or should I say, hone their Sharingan further, and increase their base stats overall. After a few grueling hours, they call it a night, get something to eat. Naruto always votes for ramen because, you know, he's slightly obsessed. Ever so slightly. And then they both head off to bed, getting a good sleep before the exam. The next day, Sasuke awakens to the sound of Naruto screaming. He immediately activates his Sharingan, but notices that everything's alright, it was just Naruto screaming from frustration. As he gave the chains another try, but still, nothing. Poor Naruto. Sasuke cracks a smile and tells Naruto that he has to get to the training grounds, otherwise they'll probably miss the exam. Little did they know. While on their way to the exam, they run into bitch features and walk together. Sakura is deciding on what to possibly say to apologise to Naruto for how she acted in the past, and, well, what to say at all, really, as she knows that Sasuke is pissed off with her as well. She finally gets the courage to speak up when they get to their destination. She tells Naruto that she's very sorry for what she said to him in the past, and that she will try and be less aggressive towards him. We all know that she beats the shit out of him. She mostly says this to try and appease Sasuke because she's a little simp, but she does mean it to some extent. She looks back to Sasuke and sees him just roll his eyes. Not exactly the reaction she was looking for, but Naruto accepted her apology nevertheless, as he is still his kind-hearted self as the original, but with a stronger resolve to becoming a full-fledged shinobi. 3 hours go by as they wait for Kakashi to turn up, so while they were there, they thought they'd come up with some kind of plan to take Kakashi on. When Kakashi eventually gets there, he says that a black cat crossed his path, so he has to go the long way around. Sakura, being an eternal brown-noser and the teacher's pet, says, "Oh, it's no trouble, Kakashi-sensei," while Naruto and Sasuke both under their breath say that's bullshit. Kakashi then explains the bell test, saying, "If you don't come out with the intent to kill, you'll never get the bells from them." Sakura points out that there is only 2 bells, and that no matter what, someone will fail. Kakashi tells her, "Well, it's up to you if you want to go back to the academy or not. But seeing as though you're again, I'm pretty sure you don't want to go to the academy. Stupid bitch." Kakashi then counts down 3, 2, 1, start. Sakura jumps into the woods while Naruto and Sasuke stand there ready to take Kakashi on. Kakashi, amused by this, goes to pull out his Make-Out Paradise. Or is it Make-Out Tactics? I'm not too sure. But either way, that fucking 50 Shades of Grey book. When he notices that both of them have their Sharingan ready. And thinks it's maybe a bit more difficult than I imagined it to be. He then tells the duo to come at him, and Naruto dashes forward at speeds that Kakashi was not expecting, but quickly had to block. Naruto's physical strength was a surprise to Kakashi as well, thinking that if he didn't block, then that would really fucking hurt. While he was focusing on Naruto, he noticed that Sasuke had thrown a kunai with an explosive tag attached. Kakashi jumped back, but Naruto kept the pressure on him to try and stop him from using any jutsu. Another kunai flew past Kakashi and Naruto, but from the other direction. Kakashi pushed Naruto away to see that Sasuke was now behind him ready with the fireball jutsu. Kakashi quickly used the mud wall to block this attack, and then noticed that Sakura not doing much. Sakura was running out of the forest to his left, Naruto behind him, and Sasuke jumping from behind the wall. With no choice, Kakashi pulled up his headband, revealing his Sharingan, and quickly substituted behind Sasuke. Naruto, as an attempt to get Sasuke away from Kakashi, who was ready to give him a prostate exam, reached his hand out. With his arm stretched out, he inverted his shot an adamantine chain from his hand, which pierced through Sasuke's shirt and pulled him away. Everyone was shocked to see this, but Naruto was grinning from ear to ear, thinking that he had finally found a way for him to use it. I'm saying that he can only use the chains through his hands because he's only half Uzumaki. Not exactly solid logic, but I'm the one writing it, so fuck it. Kakashi pulled his headband down and tells the team that they pass. He could see that the team was confused, so he explained that the whole point of this exam was teamwork, and while Sakura didn't do much, the overall tactic of cornering him so the whole team could move in at once was quite smart. You have a long way to go, but congratulations, you are from now on Team 7. Meet back here tomorrow for our first mission. The normal D ranks, as can and go for several months, because, you know, plot and it's stupid, because D rank missions are shit. Kakashi could tell that Naruto, Sasuke, and even Sakura were getting annoyed and frustrated by it, by the fact that it seemed that they were just being wasted entirely. So they voice this, they tell this to Kakashi, and Kakashi tells them to calm down and he'll speak to the Hokage about it. So when they go, after they do that fucking mission to get that bloody fat cat, they go to see Hiruzen, and Naruto kicks up his fuss like always. But this time Sasuke actually agrees with him and actually starts making a pouty face, which is really funny to me. Personally, just thinking about it. So the Hokage eventually relents and says, "Right, I've got a C rank here. Nothing special, it's a bodyguarding mission for that drunk mess outside." So Tazuna comes in and starts saying his usual thing of, "Are these brats really going to protect me?" Like, yeah, Sakura won't know.
Over the next month, Team 7 complete over 50 D-rank missions, which consist of helping old ladies across the street, getting their shopping, and finding their lost fucking cats. Naruto doesn't hide that he's bored, and asks Kakashi if they could possibly ask the Hokage to give them a harder mission. Kakashi tells them that these missions are vital to form a basis of a ninja's abilities. However, he does agree that maybe it's time to give them something more challenging, as they are probably the strongest team to have come from the academy this year. I mean, he's not talking about Sakura, but he can't outright say that really, can he? Well, at least not yet. They go to Hokage's mansion after finding the same cat that had gone missing 3 fucking times in the last month, which I think says a lot about the lady who owns him. And Kakashi tells Hiruzen about the team's strength and that he agrees that their talents are being wasted. The Hokage thinks for a minute and gives them the escort mission to the Land of Waves like usual. Tazuna walks in drunk as always, as he is a bit of a pisshead, and starts mouthing off, saying, "How can these kids possibly protect me?" Naruto and Sasuke, in order to prove that they aren't to be underestimated, flash their Sharingan at Tazuna. After seeing the two boys' eyes, Tazuna shuts up and waits for Kakashi to tell them when they are leaving. Kakashi laughs for a minute and tells the team to get some rest as they head out first thing tomorrow. So the next day, they meet at the gates and head down the road, ready to face the next part of their journey. Naruto and Sasuke are walking and talking about their last training session, discussing new things that they could try and ideas of how to get stronger faster. They are probably about 5-6 miles from the village when Kakashi, Sasuke and Naruto notice a faint chakra signature coming from a nearby puddle. Knowing that this was probably an ambush, Sasuke slowly pulls out a kunai and Naruto starts releasing his chakra chains from his palms. That's a bit of a tongue twister for me, I'm not gonna lie. The two Chunin, for fuck's sake, jump out of the puddle and attack the team. Sasuke stops one in his tracks, literally, by throwing a kunai at his feet, literally pinning him down to the ground, while Naruto dodges the scorpion get over here and decides that, hey, that isn't a bad idea, and then yoinks the other brother towards him and headbutts him with enough force to crack his skull. Fatality. They tie up the demon brothers and start interrogating them on what they want with Tazuna. At first they keep their mouths shut, but start telling them everything when they see the 4 Sharingan of Naruto and Sasuke staring right at them. They revealed that they were hired to kill the bridge builder and anyone that was with him. Kakashi asked who they were hired by, but before they could say who, they both get icicles straight through their hearts. Naruto and Sasuke notice that nearby in the woods, a chakra source is moving away very fast before disappearing. Naruto tells Kakashi that the person who did it went that way, but they are out of range to track with his Sharingan. Kakashi tells them to stay on guard as they are not alone in the woods. They continue very cautiously down the road and get on the boat to the Land of Waves. Tazuna explains why he lied, and they decide to continue the mission as, well, they're already halfway there and they are quite a powerful team. They should be able to handle it. When they get off the boat, however, they get into a clearing where a thick mist meets them. Looking around, they couldn't see anyone or even anything, but they hear Kakashi tell them all to duck. They all hit the deck and a big ass sword goes flying overhead. It lodges into a tree with a tall, masked man stood on the hilt, Zabuza Momochi. Kakashi tells the team to stay back and that he will handle this. Literally the same thing as canon happens up until the water prison, so I'm just going to skip it, as we all know what happens there. After being caught, Zabuza laughs, saying that now he can watch his students die, but is confused when Kakashi starts smiling. He tells Zabuza to look at the boy's eyes. When he does, he gets a bit concerned to see the bright red light of yet more Sharingan. Knowing that this is probably going to be a bit more difficult as previously thought, he makes 4 Shadow clones not 4 shadow clones, 4 water clones, and they go straight towards the group in order to kill every single one of them. But they're all taken out by the speed of the boys, well, speed and strength, as well as the perception of the Sharingan. Naruto and Sasuke make a plan to free Kakashi. Naruto makes a shadow clone and transforms into a shuriken, and Sasuke throws his own with Naruto right behind it. Zabuza, this time, mistakenly dodges the first one as it's aiming for his legs. At the very last moment, he sees a chain connected to it. Then Naruto reverts back to his actual form and yanks the chakra chain connected to the shuriken and pulls it back at Zabuza. This time the shuriken hits. It went straight through Zabuza's back, putting him into a near-death state. Haku jumps out of the woods, ready to kill Naruto on the spot, but missed by a hair as Naruto couldn't stand on water, so it just sank below the surface. When Haku tried again, however, Kakashi threw Zabuza's body at him in order to distract him, to which Haku catches his master and feels his heart beating, but very weakly and very slowly. He runs off with Zabuza in his arms to find medical attention, as Naruto swims back above the water. Kakashi tells them that was a very good idea and a very good technique, before passing out himself due to chakra exertion. They get to Tazuna's house with Sasuke carrying Kakashi, as Naruto was using Sakura as support as he was feeling fairly weak himself after that fight. The next day, Kakashi wakes up and gives his team the tree walking and water walking exercise, as Naruto wasn't able to protect himself in the water, but being able to stand on top would actually give him a fighting chance. Sakura gets them both down no problem, while Sasuke and Naruto are at it for a few hours. Naruto remembers the Demon Brothers and thinks of a new technique he could use with his chains, but unfortunately he can't really test it out now. After a few more hours, Sasuke and Naruto fall onto the floor absolutely exhausted. They should have stopped ages ago, but neither wanted the other to get ahead. They stumble back to the house, battered and bruised, but both smiling, telling Kakashi that they managed to do it. Kakashi tells them both that they did very well and he admires their determination. Naruto, after having something to eat, tells the team that he has to go and test something because he's addicted to, not only is he addicted to ramen, but he's also addicted to training. The next day, the team go to the bridge with Tazuna to make sure nothing goes wrong. But in the distance, they see the same boy as before, covered in blood, carrying a headband and a big sword on his back. The boy tells them that they killed his master and now that he's going to kill them. Haku takes off his mask and puts Zabuza's bloody headband on, saying that Zabuza will have his revenge. He then darts towards Naruto and Sasuke, as they were the reason that his master was dead. Naruto and Sasuke both activate their Sharingan and push chakra towards their feet, shooting towards Haku together. Naruto is the first to clash with Haku, but gets hit backwards by Haku, who had used his ice to cover his fist. Next is Sasuke, who used a fireball jutsu to combat the ice. He melted the ice around his fist, but was met with a kick straight to the chest, sending Sasuke flying in the other direction. Getting his bearings, Naruto stood up and got back into the fight, using his Uzumaki chains to wrap around Haku long enough for Sasuke to deliver a huge punch to Haku's face, drawing blood and sending him flying for a change. He breaks out of Naruto's chains and pulls out the executioner's blade, slowing his strikes down but making them even more devastating. especially because now they learn that Haku can use one-handed hand signs. Thinking quickly, Naruto makes 10 shadow clones and they all dart towards Haku, weaving in and out of each other to try and confuse him over which one is the real one. With this distraction, the real Naruto regroups with Sasuke and asks if he's ready to use his biggest jutsu. Sasuke smiles, saying that it finally looks like it's the time to use it in a fight. Sasuke then weaves a bunch of hand signs and says, "Fire style, majestic destroyer flame." Haku and the Naruto clones are engulfed in flames, burning the entire area. Sasuke stops firing and falls to one knee, still not having enough chakra to use that jutsu properly. He then smiles, saying that it is over now. But after the clones got destroyed, Naruto had seen Haku, in his head, pull off some kind of jutsu. Thinking it must have been his imagination, he helps Sasuke to his feet, but is shocked to see that what he saw was correct. And Haku stood there, without a scratch. Naruto shakes his head, wondering why he could see what his shadow clone saw, but has no time to dwell on it, as Haku had just launched his demonic ice mirror jutsu. Naruto and Sasuke are surrounded by ice, and within seconds they are jumping out of the way to dodge Haku's fast strikes. It's now that Kakashi tries to intervene. He creates his lightning blade to slash through the ice, but when he gets through, the ice immediately regenerates, not even leaving a scratch or a dent. Kakashi keeps trying, putting more chakra into the strike of his lightning blade, but nothing happens. Eventually he runs low on chakra and just falls to his knees. Inside the jutsu, Naruto and Sasuke keep dodging, getting used to Haku's patterns and to which mirror he's most likely to jump out of next. Haku then throws Senbon at Naruto, as he is the one with more stamina and will be harder to take down. Haku gets closer and closer to hitting Naruto and eventually does manage it. Only in the arm though, but still it's a hit. Naruto gets more and more Senbon thrown into him until he nicks an artery. Naruto holds his arm, trying to stop the blood, but Haku was ready to finish it by throwing 5 Senbon at him while he was distracted. But Sasuke had gotten up at the same time and jumps in the way to save his brother. Sasuke hits the floor with a deafening thud and everything stops. Naruto falls next to Sasuke, not worried about himself, but trying to stop the blood loss to save Sasuke's life. Sasuke starts crying and tells Naruto to finish what they started and to finally kill Itachi. Sasuke then seemingly dies in Naruto's arms. Haku says to Naruto, "Now you can feel the same pain I felt when you killed Zabuza." But through gritted teeth, Naruto just tells him to shut up. Naruto's wound heals as orange chakra flows out of his body. His nails get longer, his whiskers get darker, and his eyes change from the normal 1 Tomori Sharingan to a 2 Tomori Sharingan with slit-like pupils. He screams at anyone who hurts his family, they're all going to die. With his newfound perception and the amp from the Nine-Tails chakra, Naruto grabs Haku out of the air and smashes him through one of the mirrors, shattering the dome, and sending Haku across the floor, almost like a bloody skid. Haku gets up shakily and gets ready to fight again, but Naruto uses his newest technique that he came up with from the Demon Brothers. He uses his chakra chains and wraps them around his arms and hands like an armoured gauntlet. He rushes at Haku and hits him with the hardest punch he had ever thrown in his life, but it doesn't stop there. He lets out all of his rage and sorrow out on Haku, turning him into a bloody smear on the floor. When his rage finally subsides, he walks towards Sasuke to pay his last respects to his brother. However, with his Sharingan active, he sees that Sasuke's chakra was still active itself, meaning he must still be alive. Naruto shouts for Sakura and Kakashi to help him. Sakura runs over with bandages and wraps them all over Sasuke. Kakashi tells Naruto that he'll be okay after a few days of rest, but then they hear from behind them a loud, boisterous voice telling them to stop building the bridge or they'll force them to stop. Naruto turns around and sees about 24 thugs and one small fat guy. He stands up and walks directly in front of the group and tells them to leave right now. Gato starts laughing, but not for long, as Naruto makes 10 shadow clones and all of them use his new chakra gauntlets. Naruto and his clones charge, knocking some of the thugs out, throwing some off the bridge, but most importantly, he knocks out Gato and takes him back to the village so they can do what they want with him. In the days following, Sasuke regains consciousness and Gato gets put in prison. Sasuke is a bit miffed that Naruto managed to evolve his Sharingan and Sasuke didn't, but can't really be helped, because if he didn't, they both probably would have been dead. Tazuna tells the group that he shall be calling the bridge the Great Uchiha Bridge, due to the efforts of the Uchiha brothers. After the bridge is complete, Team 7 head back home towards the village, and Naruto asks Kakashi about what he saw when the clones dispersed. Kakashi smiles and tells him that the Shadow Clone Jutsu has a kind of recon element. Anything the clone learns, the real person learns, as long as the person becomes aware of that fact. Kakashi tells Naruto that he is surprised he worked it out so quickly at such a young age. Naruto smiles, thinking that this will make training a lot more effective. When they get back to the village, they go to the Hokage's mansion to report the mission's success. The Hokage gives them the money of a high B rank mission and dismisses the team. Naruto and Sasuke go back to the Uchiha compound to start training against each other. They have a couple of spars before going to bed, and it is very clear that due to his newly evolved Sharingan, Naruto was ahead of Sasuke, which motivates him to try and catch up even harder. Over the next few days, Sasuke spends his training sessions pushing his Sharingan to the limit and constantly flooding more and more chakra into his eyes, until he nearly collapses. As for Naruto, he spends time refining his chakra chains, thinking of ways to implement them into his fighting style, and using his newly found Shadow Clone training to its max, using up to 40 Shadow Clones each time. For now, it's clear that Naruto is progressing miles faster than Sasuke, which only pushes Sasuke even more. He eventually asks Kakashi if he could teach him any lightning style jutsu, seeing as though Sasuke's chakra natures are fire and lightning, which makes Kakashi very happy, as Sasuke is taking his training a lot more seriously because of Naruto. He then teaches him only one technique, but promises to teach him more when he's ready. A few days after, Team 7 are walking through the village, wondering if they should ask for a new mission from the Hokage, when they come across a sand ninja shouting at Konohamaru while picking him up by the front of his shirt. Naruto tells the ninja to put him down, as they don't want to start a war now, do they? Kankuro puts the kid down and tells Team 7 to get lost, or they'll be the ones who are in trouble next. But before a fight starts, Kankuro freezes as he hears a very cold voice telling him to behave himself. From behind Kankuro, a small boy with red hair appears, asking Naruto what his name is, as he can tell he's the strongest on the team. Naruto replies with his name and asks for his. He replies quickly, saying that his name is Garo of the Sand. he then tells the team that they'll be the ones who win this exam, leaving Team 7 wondering what the hell he was talking about. Almost as if on cue, Kakashi finds them, asking if they wanted to take part in the tuning exams. He explains that the exams are to see which genin are ready to level up and take the next step in society. Naruto and Sasuke say yes instantly, while Sakura just agrees with her crush. Kakashi tells them that the exams will take place in 3 days, so they should get some training in and prepare. They all head to the training grounds to get some really grueling training in. Sasuke increases his reaction speed by avoiding kunai and shuriken thrown at him by Sakura, which in turn also helps her to improve her accuracy. Naruto continues with his chain and shadow clone training, which increases his chakra control exponentially faster than if he was doing it without the shadow clones. On the day of the exam, Team 7 meet at the building and together all walk in. None of them this time around are fooled by the genjutsu, as Sakura is naturally good at identifying genjutsu, and Naruto and Sasuke have resistance to it due to their Sharingan. They get into the room where Rock Lee is waiting for them. He challenges Sasuke and Naruto as they were the ones responsible for killing the Demon of the Mist. Naruto and Sasuke accept and play rock paper scissors between them to see who gets to go first, with Naruto winning using paper. The fight starts with Naruto activating his Sharingan and creating one shadow clone. The clone shoots towards Rock Lee, and Lee dispatches the clone with just a chop to the neck. Shocked at how fast the clone got beat, Naruto uses his chain gauntlets and starts to fight Lee himself. But Lee just dodges every attack and knocks Naruto to the ground. Now it's Sasuke's turn, and he does just a bit better than the original, as he got a glimpse of Lee's techniques, but it still ends with Lee apologising to a turtle. They all go to the exam room, and the only thing that changes, really, is Naruto using his Sharingan, exactly like Sasuke does, to answer the questions. Anko then busts through the window, telling them all to head towards the Forest of Death. They all get to the forest, and Naruto, while his Sharingan is still active from the first exam, notices a somewhat ominous chakra coming from a female grass ninja. Naruto was about to go over to get a closer look, but Anko tells them all to go into the tent and receive their scrolls. Team 7 get an Earth Scroll, and Sasuke is the one who holds on to it. They stand in front of the gates, ready to rush in. Anko shouts go, and the team race through the trees, ready to find another team with a scroll they need. After a couple of hours, they stop so Naruto can have a piss, and like usual, a ninja jumps him and ties him up. Back in the clearing, the Naruto imposter comes out of the woods, and Sasuke immediately attacks, knocking the ninja out of the transformation jutsu and unconscious. The real Naruto appears, asking how he knew that wasn't him, to which Sasuke says that using his Sharingan, he noticed a while ago that Naruto constantly has a lot of chakra directed towards his arms in order to use his chains on the fly. Naruto smiles and they continue with the exams. Another hour passes and they don't come across anyone, but Naruto starts feeling a huge tremor in the trees that they were jumping through. Knowing that something big is coming, he makes 5 shadow clones. 2 of them transform into Sasuke and Sakura, and 2 of the others grab the real Sasuke and Sakura and pull them under a massive branch, while the 3 clones carry on, acting as a diversion for whoever is following. Naruto explains this to the team, and Sasuke congratulates Naruto, as that was some very fast thinking. They get ready to set off again, when Naruto gets hit by 3 memories of a snake with that same grass ninja on top, killing him. Knowing that this is his clones and that the grass ninja has realised what happened, tells his team that they need to go right now as fast as possible. But after only 5 minutes, the grass ninja catches up to them and in a creepy, almost pedo-like voice, tells Naruto and Sasuke that he's been looking for those 2 bodies. Orochimaru releases his overwhelming bloodlust, freezing Team 7 from fear. He then starts taunting Team 7, wanting to see how the 2 Uchiha boys would react, saying that the first he's going to kill is the pink-haired girl. Then he'll kill Sasuke, and then Naruto, leaving Naruto till last so that he can see his team that he tried to save in a pool of blood in front of him. Naruto gets enraged and some of the Nine Tails chakra leaks out, just enough for him to overcome the killing intent by the Snake Man. Feeling even a small fraction of the Nine Tails' power lets Orochimaru know that Naruto is the real prize in this battle, and he knows that he must, at any cost, have his body. Knowing that this pedo is a significant threat, Naruto immediately makes 5 shadow clones, and 4 of the Narutos activate their chain gauntlet, while the other 2 send their chains towards Orochimaru and pull him towards the group all scorpion style, while the other clones begin to smack the shit out of him. When the clones stop their assault, they see that Orochimaru took next to no damage from them, and he starts chuckling, saying that the technique is impressive, but Naruto must be stupid if he thinks something like that will work on him. While this is happening, Sasuke is trying to get his body to move in any way possible. He slowly reaches for his kunai pouch, pulling one out and stabbing himself in the leg, releasing him from fear with pain. He then grabs Sakura and bolts, getting her to a safe location and telling her to wait here for him and Naruto. He then activates his Sharingan and joins his brother in the assault on the Sannin. When Sasuke arrives, Orochimaru gets a semi, thinking that he can't get this boy, he can at least get an Uchiha, as he sees that Sasuke is still at 1 Tomoe in each eye. With the Uchiha brothers now together, Orochimaru is forced to defend. If he goes after Naruto, then he'll be hit by Sasuke's fire style jutsu, and if he goes for Sasuke, then he'll be pulled towards Naruto's shadow clones from his chakra chains. This becomes the rhythm of the fight for probably about half an hour, until Orochimaru goes to bite Sasuke, but is shocked, literally, as Sasuke used the lightning clone jutsu, which he learned off Kakashi before the Chunin exams. While Orochimaru stops in his tracks due to the high amount of electricity going through his body, Sasuke and Naruto set up one of their biggest jutsu. First, Naruto attaches Orochimaru to a tree with the thickest chains he has ever made, while Sasuke uses the Great Fireball jutsu. And to finish off, Naruto uses his Gale Palm jutsu to explode the fireball, increasing the heat and damage caused to the target. After this attack, Sasuke and Naruto fall to one knee, breathing heavily, smiling that this threat has been taken out. But they're both on guard when Orochimaru's body dissolves, showing it to be a mud clone. Orochimaru appears once again, but this time he looks like himself, as the flesh of the grass ninja had been completely burned off, showing that the clone was simply a substitute. Angry that Orochimaru was still alive, Sasuke jumps straight at him, planning to take his head off with a kunai, but Orochimaru darts past Sasuke towards Naruto and biting him before any of them could fully react. Naruto buckles over in pain, clenching where the Sannin had just bit. Sasuke, furious at himself for leaving Naruto unprotected, his Sharingan then evolves to Tomoe stage. Orochimaru leaves, having got at least one of his targets, and Sasuke goes to check on Naruto, who was still alive but knocked out cold. Sakura appears, asking if he was okay. Sasuke then tells her that he's just unconscious. But while he's distracted, Orochimaru's head appeared from the branch, biting Sasuke and implanting the same curse mark onto him, and then disappeared for good this time. And then Sasuke passes out. Sakura picks both of her teammates up and takes them to a small grove near a river to let them get some rest and fresh cold water to bring their temperatures down. After an hour of caring for her teammates, Sakura hears 3 people shouting for the Uchihas. This is when Naruto wakes up, again clenching his neck in pain, with what appear to be black markings running across his body. But then some of those markings seem to seal themselves before disappearing. For a bit of context, the piece of Orochimaru that was inside of Naruto got yanked into the cage by Kuroma's chakra and devoured by him, after saying that it's getting too cramped around here, leaving only the mark on his neck, with still some negative effects, but not as many. Naruto walks out, leaving Sakura inside to look after Sasuke. He then asks the Sound Ninja what they want, and Dozu replied, saying that they want you and your brother to come with them. Naruto gets into a fighting stance and tells them that they'll have to beat him if they think that's ever going to happen. Even though Orochimaru wasn't in the curse mark anymore, some of the malice that was there from before was still inside the mark, which made Naruto very irritable at this moment. He makes 2 clones, and the clones jump at Zaku and the girl, pinning them down, while the real Naruto, with his mark activated, runs towards Dozu faster than he could react, and pulls a kunai out and puts it to his throat, telling them to go or die. Zaku blows the Naruto clone away with his sound pipes that are in his arm, and sends a massive airwave at the real Naruto, knocking him away from Dozu. Dozu then repeats himself, telling Naruto to get Sasuke and come with him. But at that moment, a huge dark energy is felt from the Sound Ninja as Sasuke wakes up. He asks Naruto what's going on, and Naruto very quickly tells him what they want. And now it's the Sound Ninja versus the cursed Uchiha brothers. Naruto knocking Dozu out and chains him up straight away, and the girl just runs away back to Orochimaru to tell him what's happening. But Zaku wasn't so lucky, as this time, without Sakura's interference, Sasuke rips Zaku's arms off, leaving him to bleed out and very quickly die. When the fight was over, Naruto looks at Sasuke and tells them that they both need to let go of this state that is making them both almost psychotic. Naruto lets go with only a tiny bit of trouble, as Orochimaru was no longer in the mark, but Sasuke is a bit more. After some struggle against his instincts to basically destroy everything at that point, he does revert back to normal. They check Dozu's unconscious body and find that they had a heaven scroll, the same one that they needed. Naruto tells his team that they should get going, and in only about 10 minutes they get to the tower, as in this timeline they weren't too far away when they met the Team Dozu. As Team 7 enter the tower in the middle of the Forest of Death, they read the instructions on the wall, and after a few minutes they understand that they now need to open both of the scrolls. Naruto and Sasuke will open one scroll each, and Kakashi pops out of the scroll as a summoning, congratulating the team for getting this far and telling them that it is very lucky that he picked those scrolls, as only those two together would summon Kakashi. They tell Kakashi what happened in the forest with the weird ninja from the grass village, and Kakashi tells them that it was more than likely Orochimaru. He then sees the curse marks on Naruto and Sasuke's necks and tells them that they need to go to the basement and have them sealed before the next stage of the exams start. As they head down the stairs, Kakashi explains all about Orochimaru and what he had done in the past. When they get to the room, Kakashi makes 2 sealing circles and has the boys stand in the middle of each one and begin sealing the curse marks. Sasuke screams in pain as the curse mark was basically being yanked away from his chakra as to not feed off it anymore, while Naruto was stood, almost unbothered by it, as the part of Orochimaru that was inside the curse mark had been destroyed. When the sealing is complete, Kakashi hears a familiar voice from behind saying that it's such a pity that they have been sealed. Kakashi turns round and sees Orochimaru smiling at him. Kakashi, now having 2 members of his team to protect, activates his lightning blade, ready to fight the Snake Sannin. However, Orochimaru says that he has no intention of fighting, he just wants to see how his new playthings were holding up. But when he looks at Naruto, he can't sense any of himself inside of him. Fucking hell, the police would have a field day with this creep. Slightly angered that he can't use Naruto as a vessel, he disappears, leaving them to go back upstairs to continue the tuning exams. The only 2 fights that change in the preliminaries are Naruto and Sasuke's. Sasuke beats Yoroi, I think his name is, that fucking weirdo who sucks chakra, easier than canon, because now he can actually use his chakra. So he uses it to amp his speed, and along with his Sharingan, knocks him out quite easily. Naruto vs Kiba starts with Naruto activating his Sharingan and watching Kiba's every move. Akamaru turns into Kiba, and they then try to confuse Naruto over which one's the real Kiba by using Fang over Fang. However, Naruto was tracking Kiba the whole time, and the moment they make eye contact, Naruto puts him under a Genjutsu, knocking him out and winning the fight. Naruto knew to end the fight very quickly and not use any techniques to keep them a secret for whoever his next opponent was. Lee vs Gaara ends in the same way, unfortunately, with Lee getting his leg crushed. Still, I think we can all agree that even though his leg gets crushed, it's still one of, if not the best fights in all of Naruto. Hinata and Neji's fight goes the same, but when Neji goes for his final attack, while Hinata is already beaten, Naruto jumps between them and forms multiple shadow clones. All of them raise their chakra gauntlets like shields, blocking Neji's attacks. Naruto tells Neji, after seeing what happened to Lee, you should know when to stop. But Neji simply tells him to move, as a clan who can be killed by only one of its own can't stop a Hyuga. Sasuke heard this and got infuriated. He activated his Sharingan and jumped next to Naruto, asking Neji to repeat that. But before Neji could say anything, the Proctor, as well as other Jonin, come in to stop the fight before it even begins. Naruto turns to Hinata, who was on the floor, picks her up and takes her to the infirmary. And obviously Hinata was blushing because she's been picked up by Naruto. When he comes back, he notices that through his anger, Sasuke's Sharingan had evolved once again and became the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. He tells Sasuke, who had to look in a mirror as he almost didn't believe Naruto. But sure enough, it was there, 3 Tomoe. Hiruzen tells the Genin that they now have 1 month to train before the next phase of the exams take place. They all find out who they'll be fighting, and Sasuke tells Naruto to beat the ever-loving shit out of Neji for disrespecting their clan, to which Naruto agrees, also wanting to prove a point about hard work versus natural talent. After the preliminaries, Kakashi takes Sasuke and Naruto to the top of a hill, where he will begin teaching them the Chidori. Naruto's chakra nature obviously isn't lightning, but as he has the Sharingan, he is one of the only people who would be able to use that technique fully without tunnel vision. He tells the both of them that they need to get faster in order to use the technique effectively, so they both visualise Lee's movements. For Sasuke, this is easier to do than in canon, due to his 3 Tomoe Sharingan, while Naruto just uses the Shadow Clone training. Naruto asks Sasuke why he isn't using the same, as it would make training faster, but Sasuke just says that the only reason it's so effective for you is your massive amount of chakra, but for Sasuke, it would have a very limited use, which would shorten his training sessions, as he would run out of chakra faster than Naruto would. After a week, both Naruto and Sasuke have gotten up to the required levels of speed, and have begun working on the Chidori. However, an older man comes up the hill and asks Kakashi if he could train Naruto, as he thinks he would benefit from it. Kakashi, seeing who this is, says yes straight away. Naruto starts getting rowdy, but Kakashi tells him that this man is one of the legendary Sannin and the one who helped train the 4th Hokage, Jiraiya. Not wanting to miss out on the training with Kakashi, Naruto leaves 2 Shadow Clones on the hill to train with them, while the real Naruto goes off to train with Jiraiya. And I'm sure some of you know who I got this idea off. If you do, well done. Training with Jiraiya begins, and they start by going over the basics of chakra control, to which Naruto can already walk on trees and water. Jiraiya then teaches Naruto the hand signs for the summoning jutsu, which takes about 5 seconds due to the Sharingan, and his motivation to destroy Neji. Jiraiya then pulls out the contract scroll and tells Naruto to sign it with his blood. After being signed, Naruto does the summoning jutsu and summons a mid-sized toad, as his chakra control is a lot better in this timeline to even get a toad without the Nine-Tails chakra. He does it a few more times just to get the hang of it, and asks Jiraiya if there was anything else that he could teach him. Jiraiya is pleasantly surprised by this, as he expected this jutsu to take most of the month to learn, but Naruto learned it in under a day. He decides to teach Naruto about the Nine-Tails inside of him, and that he may be able to control that power someday. Naruto enters his mindscape through meditation, and is outside the Nine-Tails cage. He tells the beast that he is inside his body, and he owes him rent, so he'll take his chakra as currency. The Nine-Tails laughs at this, and tells Naruto that he hates him, and the clan he comes from. Basically, he says fuck you and the Uchiha. But he knows that without access to even a fraction of his chakra, he may end up dead like the rest of his clan someday. So he tells Naruto that on the odd occasion, he'll lend him his power, and then he gives him enough just for the one-tail cloak. He exits his mindscape and can see that he is covered in thick, orange, reddish chakra, and feels a lot stronger than before. Jiraiya is once again shocked, thinking that he did this in less than a day as well. This kid truly is something else. For the remainder of the month, Jiraiya teaches him some high-level fire jutsu, like the Toad flame bombs, and such stuff like that. And he also teaches him the first 2 stages of the Rasengan, which Naruto has had some trouble with, but gets it eventually. Jiraiya tells Naruto that he should go back and get some rest, as tomorrow is the day of the exam. By the way, Naruto can use 4 Chidoris a day before he runs out of his own chakra, and a hell of a lot more when he taps into the Nine-Tails chakra. But Naruto goes home, getting some sleep before putting Neji in his place the next day. Naruto wakes up the next day, confident that he's going to show that arrogant kid that hard work can beat natural talent any day of the week. He puts on his clothes and heads for the arena. Side note, his original clothes were pretty much destroyed in the training with Jiraiya, so he now wears like dark blue trousers with a dark red jacket that's got a hood on the back of it, and the Uchiha symbol is engraved onto the back of it. He gets to the arena and meets up with the rest of the genin. He notices that Sasuke isn't there yet, although he's not too concerned, as Sasuke told the shadow clones of Naruto that were training with them that he may be a bit late as they need to fine-tune a couple of things first. In Naruto's head, he's thinking that he better be able to beat Gaara for what he did to Lee. Naruto then spots Neji, who's staring at him with his Byakugan. Naruto, in kind, activated his Sharingan as a sort of battle of wills, as soon it will be a battle of clans. Sasuke walks up to Naruto, telling him that his new outfit suits him, before telling him to crush Neji for what he did. Naruto thanks her for the compliment and says, "Don't worry, I will," with a slick smile on his face. The first match should have been Sasuke versus Gaara, but Naruto told the proctor that Sasuke would be a little late as he had a few things to tie up first. So that match gets postponed for later. Although everyone in the arena, and myself, have been looking forward to the next fight. Naruto Uchiha versus Neji Hyuga. I'm a very big fan of that actual fight in the anime. I don't know why, I just really like it. But anyway, Naruto and Neji both jump down onto the fighting stage, neither of them breaking eye contact from the other. When they reach the bottom, the proctor explains the rules. Either the opponent has to give up, or have to be completely incapable of carrying on the fight. Naruto and Neji both back up from each other, and the proctor tells them to begin. Naruto makes 4 shadow clones to go after Neji, so that he can analyse his fighting style. In this version, Neji doesn't just slash the clones away like in normal. However, as the clones are much stronger, and Naruto is much stronger, and all of them have the Tutomori Sharingan. Getting a sense of his skill, Naruto makes another clone, and they both rush at Neji, forming the chain gauntlets. Some people in the arena gasp when they see this, as they seen Kushina use her chains to hold the Nine Tails down, but never seen it used in an offensive manner like this. Naruto throws a punch at Neji, only just missing his chest, but it does throw Neji off balance slightly, which gave enough of an opening for the Shadow Clone to punch Neji in the back, sending him to the other side of the arena. Naruto recalls the Shadow Clone back to him, while Neji shakily gets back to his feet. When Neji is up, Naruto asks Neji if he has changed his mind on hard work yet, to which Neji simply says that he hasn't won the fight yet, has he? He runs at Naruto, stopping 2 feet in front of him, and dropping down into a different stance. He says 8 trigrams, 64 palms, and starts his barrage of attacks. Naruto dodges the first 32 easily, but when Neji gets the last 32, he lands over half of them, shutting down some of Naruto's chakra points, trying to cut off the ones that lead to his arms. Through this technique, Neji shuts off the points in Naruto's right arm, rendering it useless for now. Naruto notices that when he tries to use any jutsu, he can't send chakra down his right arm, and then thinks to himself that that's what that move does. If he was hit by all of them, he'd be in some pretty big trouble. Naruto throws some kunai at Neji, too fast for Neji to dodge, as they were in a diamond-like formation, and all in the same row, so they would all hit at the same time. With no choice, Neji reveals his palm rotation, knocking all of the kunai away. But what Neji doesn't notice is that while he was rotating, Naruto was flooding his right arm with as much chakra as possible, opening his chakra points once again. This is only possible due to his intense chakra training, after learning the first 2 stages of the Rasengan, which puts his chakra control way up. Naruto leaves his right arm hanging to make Neji think that he will still be affected by the 8 trigrams. Naruto knows that with the Byakugan, Neji would notice sooner or later, as he will see the chakra flowing again to his arm. So with this in mind, he starts running at Neji. With his Sharingan activated, he copies Lee's movements and speeds up tremendously. Neji is surprised by this, and only just sees Naruto weaving hand signs. Naruto then shouts, "Fire style, Toad Flame Bomb." Even though Neji started his rotation, the move was so strong that when it hit the dome, Neji felt the impact and was sent to the ground panting. Naruto quickly landed on the floor, made 3 shadow clones, and all of them used their chakra chains to cover Neji and pin him to the ground like the Ninetales was pinned by Kushina. Unable to move, the proctor declared Naruto Uchiha the winner. The arena erupted in cheers for Naruto, as not only did he win, but he also proved that natural talent means jack shit when going against hard work. Naruto goes back to the stands where Sakura is standing. She tells Naruto that was amazing and that she knew he could do it with a smile on her face. Naruto smiles back and tells her that Sasuke will do great as well, as he knows that he has an ace in the hole, but Naruto didn't want to use it, as he wanted Sasuke to show it off instead, as Naruto had his chakra chains. After a while, Sasuke and Kakashi show up in a whirlwind of leaves, and Naruto tells him that he better not lose. After all, he doesn't want to be left in the dust now, does he? Sasuke smiles and says to Naruto that he must have beaten that bastard then, to which Naruto smiles, saying, "What do you expect? He was going against me." They fist bump, with Sasuke saying that he'll definitely win. Unfortunately though, the only thing that really changes about Sasuke and Gaara's fight is that Gaara gets pushed to use his Sand Dome even earlier than in canon due to Sasuke being quite a bit stronger and also having the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. When he hits Gaara with the Chidori, he then surges more chakra into his arm, making a huge burst of lightning explode inside the dome. But after Sasuke pulls his arm out, the Genjutsu gets cast, putting everyone to sleep, apart from the people who resisted in the original, and Naruto, who then proceeded to follow Sasuke and Gaara when they both break out of the arena. As Naruto chases after Sasuke and Gaara, he notices that a mix of several sand and sound shinobi were trying to block Naruto from catching up to them. Naruto shouts, "Get the fuck out of my way." He uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and the clones use their chains to wrap up the shinobi in one big group, holding them together until other Leaf shinobi turn up to take them out. Naruto sees that Sasuke and Gaara have stopped and have begun to fight all out. Naruto stays back for now, seeing that their fight is pretty much even at the moment. But Sasuke seems to be running out of chakra, even using the curse mark for extra power. Here's where Naruto steps in. Naruto launches towards Gaara, kicking him as hard as he could, and landing next to Sasuke, helping him up. He asks Sasuke how many Chidoris he has left in him, but Sasuke told him only 1 more before he's going to run dangerously low on chakra and not be able to use another jutsu. They try to come up with a plan, but get cut off by Gaara in his mini Shikaku state. It's so cute, so mini. Launching a wave of sand, knocking Naruto away from Sasuke. Naruto struggles to his feet after that massive blow and activates his Sharingan, ready to fight once again. He makes another 4 shadow clones and attaches chains to each other, and all of them attach chains to each other. And they jump past Gaara, encasing him in a web of chains, holding him still while the real Naruto charges at Chidori. But his blood runs cold when he hears Sakura shout his and Sasuke's names. Unfortunately, Gaara also heard her. Gaara sends a bunch of sand towards her, pinning her to a tree, crushing her. He tells Naruto to leave him and Sasuke alone, or she dies. Naruto deactivates his Chidori and his clones. When Gaara turns towards Sasuke again, Naruto quickly makes another clone, who then uses a Chidori to cut Sakura out of the sand and runs away with her. While Gaara is yet again distracted by Naruto, Sasuke charges his last Chidori of the day and pushes all of his chakra into it, making the Chidori slightly longer, slashing through Gaara's chest. Gaara screams out in pain before knocking Sasuke away, slamming into a tree, nearly knocking him out cold. Sasuke then tells Naruto that he has to run, as he doesn't think that Naruto alone can stop Gaara. But Naruto was feeling more invigorated than before, after seeing his teammate nearly killed, and the closest person in his life, his brother, helpless on the ground. He then feels a massive flood of chakra enter his body, as the clones that were holding the shinobi are released from the jutsu. He then makes the Chidori in one hand, and in the other he uses the first 2 principles of the Rasengan to make a sort of mini hurricane in the palm of his hand. Naruto launches himself off the branch towards Gaara with enough strength to snap the branch in 2. He hits Gaara with his Chidori, which goes straight through the sand, and before the lightning disperses, he hits the same spot with his improvised mini tornado, which then sends the lightning all around Gaara's body, damaging Gaara immensely, ripping away the sand from every part of him. Naruto lands back next to Sasuke, who was looking at him speechless at the power of that one technique. Gaara falls off the branch he was on, hitting his head, knocking him out. But before Naruto or Sasuke could even think about celebrating, a huge plume of smoke appears, and from within emerges the true form of the one-tailed beast. From within Naruto, the 9-tailed fox growls, showing his disdain for Shikaku. In Naruto's head, he could hear the fox tell him that he'll share some of his chakra with him to take out that bloody raccoon. Naruto thanks him before taking some of the blood that had leaked from his mouth and using the summoning jutsu. With how much chakra was used in the jutsu, however, Naruto unknowingly summons Gamabunta. Gamabunta starts shouting, asking why Jiraiya had summoned him. If you need a bit of context, either go to the, I think it was, nope, they'll put that part before last, part 7. And because he never summoned Gamabunta, he summoned like a mid-sized toad. But after shouting Jiraiya's name, he hears Naruto say that it wasn't Jiraiya, it was him. Gamabunta then shouts at him, saying how dare he summon him. But Naruto just points towards Shikaku, asking if he can help take that beast down. Gamabunta asks Naruto if he had any ideas, to which Naruto says that he does have one, but he doesn't know if it's going to work. He tells Gamabunta that wouldn't he be weaker if he was made of glass, to which Gamabunta chuckles, saying that, yeah, that might work. Gamabunta runs towards Shikaku, dodging his sand and air bullets. When he gets close enough, Gamabunta uses his toad oil, covering the one-tails completely, and Naruto follows it up with toad flame bombs, which causes enough heat to turn Shikaku's sand body into glass, before Naruto uses his final Chidori to shatter the glass. While falling to the ground, Naruto uses the very last bits of his chakra to make two shadow clones. One grabs Naruto and the other grabs Gaara and cushion the blow against the floor. Naruto, before passing out, uses his Talk no Jutsu on Gaara. Naruto wakes up the next day in hospital, almost fully healed due to the Nine Tails, but still low on chakra. When he gets up, he is greeted by Sakura, who thanked him for saving her. Before Naruto could reply, the curtain to the left of Naruto opens and Sasuke was stood there, covered in bruises but otherwise okay. He had a solemn look on his face. When Naruto asks what happened, Sasuke tells Naruto and Sakura that the third Hokage had been killed by Orochimaru. Naruto and Sakura freeze, speechless, thinking that must have been that bastard's plan the entire time. Sakura starts crying, but Sasuke tells her to stop, as he fulfilled his duty as a shinobi and Hokage, protecting the village. The next day, the Hokage's funeral takes place, and in this story, this is where Naruto decides that he would look after the village, just like the old man did, and he will never go back on his word, as that is his ninja way. Over the next few days, while the village was being repaired, Naruto and Sasuke trained even harder than ever before. Sasuke needed to get strong enough that he could take someone like Gaara down himself, otherwise he will never be able to beat Itachi. And Naruto needed to get stronger in order to keep his word and protect everyone. After one of their training sessions, Jiraiya approaches Naruto and asks if he wanted to come on a mission with him. Naruto asks what the mission was, and Jiraiya responds saying that they were going to look for the next Hokage. Naruto asked if they could train on the way, and Jiraiya just smiled, saying that he was also going to teach him the last stage of the Rasengan. So the next morning, Naruto meets Jiraiya at the village gates, and they set off to find Lady Tsunade. After a few hours of Jiraiya telling Naruto about the Slug Princess, they stop at the side of the road, getting something to eat and having a breather. Jiraiya turns to Naruto and asks him to show the first two stages of the Rasengan. Naruto obliges and makes his mini hurricane in the palm of his hand. Jiraiya tells Naruto that he is still amazed how quickly he managed to achieve even this stage. He then shows Naruto the full Rasengan and tells him that to complete the technique, you have to use your chakra to force the rotation into a sphere and to contain it. He then shows Naruto the power of the technique by thrusting his hand through a tree, destroying it and several behind it. Naruto had stars in his eyes as he had never seen the full technique before, only the first two steps. Naruto then tries. He focuses all of his chakra to his palm, forms the mini hurricane and starts to compress it into a ball, but the Rasengan just fizzles out. He then tries again and the same thing happens, and again and again. Jiraiya tells him that it's okay, it may take a while, as it took the fourth Hokage 4 years to perfect the jutsu. They continue along the road and Naruto keeps trying, but every time it just fizzles out. Frustrated, Naruto makes 50 shadow clones, all practicing the technique. So basically right now it's Jiraiya and like an army of Narutos behind him. Until finally one of the clones manages to momentarily create the fully formed Rasengan. Jiraiya is super impressed, not only by how fast he managed to finish the technique, but with how many clones he made and he's still on his feet. Naruto calls all of his clones back to him and opens his hand, and in his palm was the fully formed Rasengan, perfectly controlled and sustained. Jiraiya was speechless with a huge beaming smile on his face. He tells Naruto that he may have more promise than even that of the fourth Hokage. Seeing how fast he was able to complete the Rasengan, or use the Rasengan, he tells Naruto that the Rasengan is an incomplete jutsu, and he thinks that Naruto will be the one to finish it. Naruto asks how it's incomplete, to which Jiraiya tells him that this jutsu has no nature change, which means they are only scratching the surface of the true potential of the jutsu. Naruto gets a sly smile on his face, thinking that one day he's going to surpass even the greatest Hokage. Naruto and Jiraiya make it to a town, and Jiraiya tells him to get a room in the hotel while he asks around for information on Tsunade. While in the hotel room, Naruto works on adding wind chakra to the Rasengan. He makes 7 shadow clones, who all try to combine wind chakra and the Rasengan, but each time the Rasengan either stays in its original form or bursts, taking out the clone. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Naruto, knowing that Jiraiya was still mostly looking for info, activates his Sharingan and could see 2 massive chakra signatures on the other side of the door. One of them he didn't recognise, but the other made his blood freeze. It was Itachi's chakra. The worst part is that Itachi was also looking at him. Naruto sent a shadow clone to open the door and walked out with Itachi and Kisame. When Kisame tried to grab the clone, Itachi grabbed his hand, saying that jutsu won't work on him. After all, he's the one who taught it to him. He then looked directly at the real Naruto, who was stood slightly behind the door. He tells Naruto to come with them, but Itachi is cut off by the sound of a Chidori activating. Sasuke arrives, running straight towards Itachi, trying to end him there. But Itachi just bursts into crows, appearing behind Sasuke, kicking him down the hall. Itachi walks up to Sasuke, grabbing him by his throat, but is cut off when the real Naruto uses his Rasengan to try and hit Itachi, but Itachi uses a substitution jutsu. And now he is facing off against Naruto and Sasuke together. Itachi conceals his smile, but he is very happy that his brothers have become strong and are stuck together. But Itachi is caught off guard when Naruto asks, why was he crying the night he killed them all? Having to keep up appearances, Itachi tells Naruto that he was happy the clan was holding him back. Sasuke is enraged even further by this and activates his curse mark to give him even more power. And Naruto asks the Nine Tails to lend him some chakra, as he knows that that isn't the real reason, and he's going to find out the truth. Purple energy erupts from Sasuke, while orange chakra leaks from Naruto. And with the amp of the Nine Tails, mixed with Naruto's desire and resolve, his Sharingan evolves to the third Tomoe, just like Sasuke's did. Sasuke activates his Chidori, and with the power of the curse mark, he extends it into a short blade, literally creating a lightning blade. And with his extra chakra, Naruto creates the world's first ever wind-style Rasengan, which does cause him pain due to the intense control it takes. Itachi and Kisame get ready to fight, but Naruto and Sasuke have already launched towards them, ready to end it now. Sasuke cuts Itachi's shoulder as he moves out of the way, and Naruto sends Kisame back to the end of the hall by hitting his chest fully with the wind-style Rasengan, doing a fair amount of damage. But Kisame gets back up, ready to cut Naruto's legs off and kill Sasuke. Just as Kisame swings towards Naruto, the Samehada clashes with a Toad summons metal gauntlets. Jiraiya tells Sasuke and Naruto that they did well, but it's his turn now, and he's going to eliminate these two here and now. Itachi, seeing Jiraiya, knows that they shouldn't continue with this fight, and he grabs Kisame, running to the end of the hall, using Amaterasu to burn a hole in the wall, escaping. Sasuke starts to run after them, but passes out due to exhaustion and shock of seeing his brother again. And Naruto falls out of his nine-tailed cloak and falls asleep due to the Rasengan taking a hell of a lot out of him. A few hours later, Sasuke and Naruto both wake up in the woods with Jiraiya stoking the fire. When they come round, Jiraiya told the two that they did very well holding them off, as they both are very powerful. Sasuke looks at his hand, which still had some of Itachi's blood on it. He thinks to himself that they definitely are getting stronger, but they still have a long way to go. Jiraiya tells them that sunrise is still a while away, so they should get some sleep before they continue. You'll look after them. Naruto and Sasuke go back to sleep, regaining their strength for what is to come next. The next morning, Naruto and Sasuke wake up to Jiraiya shaking them both awake, telling them that they need to get going. Tsunade is not going to find herself, with a small heartwarming grin. Naruto gets up well rested, but Sasuke, still having some backlash from using the curse mark, and he once again had that recurring nightmare of seeing his parents die in front of him. But this time, Itachi had a genuine smile on his face, reflecting what Itachi said to Naruto about crying with happiness when he killed the clan. The three of them set off again on the road leading into a new town, and Sasuke asked Jiraiya if there was anything he could teach him. To which Jiraiya told him that he doesn't have anything to teach him, but maybe they can refine his Chidori or channel it through a sword, which would allow it to be used without the run-up that is needed for the initial blow. Sasuke thinks about this and thinks it's a good idea, and says that he'll buy one when they get into town. Naruto tells him that maybe he could learn the Rasengan, but Sasuke said that the amount of chakra needed to use that technique is even more than the Chidori, which would mean that Sasuke could only use one a day, or something along those lines. Which basically means it's a Hail Mary, a lot like the Great Fire Annihilation. They arrive in town and continue their investigation. They go to hotels and restaurants, and no one had heard of Tsunade, let alone where she is. Before they turn in for the night, Jiraiya tells them that they should get something to eat that's not rations or instant ramen, which made Naruto a bit puzzled, as instant ramen's probably one of his favourite things to eat. They go into the only restaurant that they haven't visited and are about to sit down, when Jiraiya hears a familiar, very drunk voice. He turns around and sure enough, in the corner, pissed as anything, is Lady Tsunade. Jiraiya leads the two Uchihas to Tsunade's table, and they all sit down facing her. Jiraiya says, "Long time no see," and Tsunade asks what the fuck he's doing there. He explains everything that had happened and why they were there. Tsunade, like the original, starts mouthing off about the Hokage position, saying that it's basically bullshit and every Hokage's destiny is to die. Naruto snaps. He stands up and tells Tsunade that she needs to shut up. The third Hokage put his life on the line for the village, and if he didn't, her friend Orochimaru would have destroyed the village. Tsunade laughs and says if he feels that strongly about it, why doesn't he become Hokage? This time, Sasuke stands up and says that he will be one day, but right now he could use someone to keep the seat warm for him. And they both say that they want to fight her outside. Jiraiya was about to try and stop them, but he's seen that both of them had already activated their Sharingan. Basically, trying to stop them would be pretty redundant at this moment. If he tried, they wouldn't stop, basically. As Naruto has a point to make, and Sasuke still needs to blow off some steam after the encounter with Itachi. They all go outside, and Tsunade tells them to come at her whenever they're ready. To which Naruto makes 4 clones who all jump at Tsunade, with their chains trying to wrap around her to keep her still. But when the clones try to restrain her, she simply pulls them towards her and hits them all, dispersing them. Now knowing that she is fairly strong, Sasuke launches a fireball at her, which she simply jumps over and asks them if that's all they've got. This pisses off Sasuke, as you can probably imagine, and he does the hand signs for the Chidori. When it is formed, he rushes towards Tsunade, but she grabs his wrist, stopping the jutsu in its tracks. But she is fairly impressed that this genin can use the Chidori. But then she is severely shot when at the back she could see Naruto forming her Rasengan. She turns to Jiraiya with a look on her face that says, "Are you kidding me right now? You taught this kid the Rasengan." But when she looks back, Naruto was in the air with the Rasengan 6 inches from her face. She looks behind the Rasengan and sees Naruto's face. And now, with Naruto's face behind the Rasengan, she remembers something quite fondly. Minato. It's now that she realises that Naruto is Minato's son. Naruto hits her with the Rasengan, knocking her back and separating her from Sasuke. Tsunade stands up with only minor injuries and now is pretty sober. She apologises for riling them up, telling them that they were weak, and she is sincerely sorry for what she said about the Hokage. Jiraiya asks her once again if she will come back to the Leaf as the 5th Hokage, and after a few minutes of silence, she accepts and tells him that there is something that she needs to take care of in town first. She says that she'll meet them here tomorrow and goes to her hotel with Shizune. Sasuke and Naruto then head off to begin training for the night, as Naruto was still awake and Sasuke didn't want to go to sleep. He didn't want that nightmare again. Sasuke keeps his word and goes to buy a sword from the shop, grabbing something that greatly resembles his Kusanagi blade from Shippuden. He practices channeling his Chidori into his new blade, extending his reach and increasing the cutting power of the sword. While Naruto again makes 50 shadow clones, who all practice adding wind chakra to the Rasengan, also increasing the cutting power of his Rasengan. It takes a lot of chakra, but eventually using his shadow clones, he does actually get a good grasp of it, not just when Kurama is involved. He knows, however, that he can push it further, but right now he's too low on chakra. For the first time, Sasuke is actually out longer than Naruto, training. When Naruto goes to the hotel room, he sits on the bed and meditates to enter his mindscape. He makes contact with the Nine-Tails and thanks him for helping against Itachi, to which the Nine-Tails is slightly taken aback, thinking that maybe Naruto isn't all bad, for an Uchiha that is. After all, he's taken time to at least acknowledge that he had some help, even from a beast like him. Kurama just grunts, telling Naruto that he didn't do it for him. If Naruto dies, then he dies, so it's in his best interest to keep Naruto alive. Naruto says that he doesn't believe him, but if that's how he wants to be, then so be it. But I'll be back to change your mind. He wouldn't admit it, but this actually makes Kurama a bit happy, knowing that even though it's just one person, and a kid at that, he at least has someone to talk to. The next day, Tsunade meets them outside, as she promised, and tells the group that she's ready to go. Tsunade went to the meeting area with Orochimaru earlier than normal and left a note that says she isn't coming, and if he ever appears near the hidden leaf, she will kill him for what he did to their sensei and their village. So they head back to the village, and they get back pretty quickly, as Naruto was basically making them run the entire way, knowing that Tsunade is going to help his friends and everyone else in the village. When they get back, they visit Kakashi, who wakes up after a quick bit of treatment from the Slug Princess. Naruto then tells her that Lee needs a lot of help after his leg being shattered by Gaara. She goes and checks him, and then realises that she can operate immediately before going to the mansion. And as in canon, the operation is successful, and Lee is told to take it easy for a couple of weeks, only very light training. But we all know he's going to be doing push-ups and shit like that straight away. They go to the mansion, and that night, Tsunade is inaugurated as the 5th host. The next day, Team 7 go to Ichiraku Ramen, as Kakashi wants to treat Naruto and Sasuke for not only saving him, but also being the main factors that led to their new Hokage. After they all have eaten, Naruto and Sasuke head home to the Uchiha compound to train and see where their strength is relative to each other. They have a few spars, and they are actually fairly equal in this timeline, without the curse mark or Kurama being used, that is. After training, Naruto goes in to get some sleep, while Sasuke goes out to work on his Chidori techniques, trying to think of new ways to use it. He uses his lightning clone to see if he could, in some way, overcharge the Chidori with his clone adding all of the lightning chakra to an already formed Chidori. But the Jitsu kind of just exploded, creating a surge of lightning chakra crackling all around him. Sasuke thinks that this is a good idea and tries to do this again without the clone, and manages to use a somewhat beta version of Chidori Stream, striking out only a few centimeters around his body, almost like the lightning cloak of the Raikage. Sasuke sits down, breathing slightly heavily after exerting a large amount of his chakra, when he sees multiple people in front of him. Sakon tells Sasuke that Orochimaru had sent him to fetch you. He said that Orochimaru could give Sasuke access to unimaginable power, enough power to kill Itachi. Sasuke thinks about this for a minute, and then Sakon says that his lord has also told us to ask you if you would like to bring Naruto along with you as well. To which Sasuke thought about how Naruto would react. He tells Asan 4 that he will go with them, but he has to prepare first, and he's not bringing Naruto. He'll meet him outside the gates in half an hour. When he gets to the gate, Sakura catches up to him and asks to go with him. But Sasuke tells her to stay here with Naruto, as after he's gone, Naruto is going to need someone to talk to. He then puts Sakura under a small genjutsu, putting her to sleep and laying her on a bench. The next morning, Naruto wakes up and goes to see if Sasuke is awake, but the only thing he finds is a letter on his bed, telling him that Sasuke has left, and that he won't allow himself to take Naruto down a dark path. This pisses Naruto off, and he immediately runs out of the village and into the woods and begins following the group. Naruto knows that he needs to pick up the pace, as they do have a substantial head start, and to his surprise he feels a surge of the Nine Tails chakra, with Kurama telling him to push his chakra to his legs, giving Naruto a huge boost to his speed. He finally begins to see signs of catching up to them. Naruto sees a couple of the members of the Sound Four and he gets ready to fight. But they just put their hands up, saying that there's no need to fight at all. We have been instructed to let you pass if you came, and keep everyone else away. Confused but thankful that he's making good time, Naruto runs straight past them, and in only, say, half an hour, catches up with Kimimaro and Sasuke, who was already in his barrel. Kimimaro greets Naruto and says that he's glad he decided to join them, as Sasuke shouldn't be alone after what had already happened to his family. A couple of minutes pass, with Naruto asking Kimimaro why he wants them at all, when an ominous chakra comes from the barrel and the lid flies off, revealing a now curse mark activated Sasuke. Feeling the power welling inside of him, Sasuke looks towards Naruto with a sadistic smile on his face, saying that it's good for you to come and see me off. Naruto asks why he's doing this without him, and Sasuke reiterates what he said in the letter. Kimimaro was about to interject, but Naruto tells him to shut up. This is between him and his brother. I personally think that Kimimaro would keep quiet after Naruto saying this, as Kimimaro does come across as quite respectful. Sasuke tells Naruto that he has to kill Itachi. That's what they've been working towards all this time after all. But all of his bravado and his entire argument break down when Naruto asks why he would leave one brother to kill his other. You just lose all of your family that way. Sasuke stops and starts thinking that Naruto is right. Most of his clan is dead, so why is he trying to alienate his only family he has left? Sasuke asks Naruto to come with him, but Naruto wants him to come back to the village. Here is where they arrive at yet another impasse. Sasuke tells Naruto that he won't get strong enough to kill Itachi in the village, but Naruto tells him that he would rather spend the rest of their lives failing than succeeding, and Orochimaru taking over the body of his only family left. This again takes Sasuke's entire argument away. Sasuke realises that leaving this way is a lot more than selfish. It's completely fucking idiotic. Going with the Sound 4 would give him his revenge, but it would also leave Naruto alone in the world. Sasuke's curse mark recedes, and he tells Kimimaro that Orochimaru can kiss his ass. Kimimaro tries to restrain both of them, but they both activate their Sharingan and use their iconic moves, striking Kimimaro at the same time, in the same place, creating that big black orb of energy that we saw in the original Rasengan Chidori clash. This had enough power to kill Kimimaro outright, but Naruto and Sasuke's arms were killing them with the pain that was currently coursing through. They set off back to the village and come across their fellow genin fighting the Sound 4, the original team that tracked down Sasuke, minus Naruto obviously. But with one combination attack from Naruto and Sasuke, the Sound 4 were no more, all turning into burning husks on the floor. If you need context, Sasuke used Great Fire Annihilation while Naruto used the Gale Palm. Actually, several Gale Palms because he made a few Shadow Clones. The group get back to the village and they all get some medical attention. Fortunately though, none of them had injuries nearly as severe as the original. Jiraiya starts to study Sasuke's curse mark, looking for a way to pull Orochimaru's essence out of it. Like Naruto, who after some time, his curse mark had basically just become a tattoo now. Nice little tattoo, but he'll need more time. as finding out how to do something like this did take Orochimaru a few years after all. After a bit of rest, Jiraiya knocks on Naruto's door and walks in. He tells Naruto that sometime soon they will have to leave to get some real training done, as he had discovered that the group that Itachi works for are after the tailed beasts, and Naruto is in real danger. They must train and prepare for the next time the Akatsuki strike. Naruto instantly says that he can't leave Sasuke on his own. They just talked him off a ledge, and he won't let himself become a hypocrite and leave his own brother. Jiraiya giggles slightly and smiles, and says come on in. In walks Sasuke, followed by Kakashi, who tells Naruto that both of them will be coming on this trip as well. Kakashi will be training them on their Sharingan, honing their Chidori, and improving their lightning style. And Jiraiya will be making sure that they all get stronger, no matter what. Sasuke and Naruto ask when they are leaving, and fist bump, knowing that they will be staying together after all. So the next day, they both say goodbye to Sakura and all of their classmates and set off, ready to train harder than ever before for the next 3 years. 2 years after the Uchiha brothers left the village, we come to find them both beaten on the floor, but neither of them had any intention of slowing down. In fact, that was just the warm-up. Sasuke activates his curse mark to the second stage, which, side note, Jiraiya had studied and sealed away the negative effects of Orochimaru while keeping the boosts that come with it, turning it into a quite safe power-up. Naruto, on the other hand, over the 2 years had spent some time with Kurama in his mindscape, bonding with him somewhat. As Naruto was an Uchiha, he wasn't going to trust him all of a sudden, but he trusts that Naruto will not try and control him, like the other Uchiha had before him. Naruto activates the two-tail cloak, which he has full control over, and the two start cranking up their spar to a whole different level, while Kakashi and Jiraiya watch. They go back and forth, dodging and weaving each other's attacks, as neither wants the punishment for losing. After an hour straight of fighting, they are both exhausted, but to avoid the punishment, Naruto asks Kurama for some extra power, with Kurama giving just enough chakra to win the fight. Sasuke curses himself and that damn fox for giving Naruto an unfair advantage, but Kurama just laughs inside Naruto's head. Sasuke, as punishment, had to fight Kakashi, then Jiraiya, and must keep his Sharingan and curse mark open the entire time, while Naruto could get some food and some rest, a bit of sleep if he wants it. Sasuke, not long after starting, passes out, fighting a losing battle against Kakashi, and Jiraiya picks him up and straps him to a log, just like back in the bell test. Over the next year, they spend pretty much learning new techniques, and Naruto learns something pretty special: the Flying Raijin. Jiraiya copied it down with Tsunade's permission, as Naruto is Minato's son after all, and should know his abilities. They also spend their time learning all about the Akatsuki members. All the ones that Jiraiya knows about, including Sasori, Deidara, and Kisame. Over the year, Naruto had learned the Giant Rasengan, as well as the Rasen Shuriken, and when he uses Kurama's chakra, he can also add a small amount of lightning release to the Rasengan and the Rasen Shuriken, making a very devastating attack while it's there. Sasuke, on the other hand, created the Kirin, and he and Kakashi learned the different variants of the Chidori, like Sasuke did in canon. Kakashi had also increased his proficiency with Kamura, able to use it 4 times a day, and some different ways of using it that were less taxing. Naruto and Sasuke unfortunately didn't unlock their Mangekyo Sharingan, as none of them exactly know the ways to unlock it. And also, side note, I still need an ability for Naruto. I can't think of one at the moment. But if any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I am quite interested in hearing it. Now it's time for their final test. Sasuke and Naruto versus Kakashi and Jiraiya. Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi all activate their Sharingan, while Jiraiya activates his Sage Mode, which he has perfected on this trip. He did make a promise to the two boys that after all this is over, he'll take them to Mount Miyaboku, as he thinks with the Sharingan, they could be the two greatest sages the world has ever seen. They all get ready to fight, and Sasuke takes on Kakashi, while Naruto takes Jiraiya. Before the fight, Naruto had secretly placed seals all over the battlefield, including one on Sasuke. And every time Naruto gets knocked down by Jiraiya, he places his hand on the floor and adds more each time he gets knocked down. Kakashi tries to use Kamui on Sasuke to take him out of the fight, but while Sasuke was about to go into the Kamui dimension, he activates his Chidori through his new Kusanagi blade. He got grabbed by Naruto and then appeared to a seal behind Kakashi, with Sasuke effectively winning the fight, having his sword pressed against Kakashi's back. Naruto then activates the now Three Tails cloak after a year of having the two tails. Kurama kind of goes, yeah, you can have your third one now, and takes on Jiraiya. Rasengans fly everywhere before Naruto uses his chakra and amps up his speed, confusing Jiraiya by running around and teleporting around the battlefield. Jiraiya can tell that Naruto was making a lightning Rasengan, but could only see his after images. But by the time he actually found out where Naruto was, it was too late, as Naruto teleported in front of Jiraiya, thrusting his hand forward, sending him flying. Naruto and Sasuke, after the 3 years of grueling training, managed to defeat the Sannin and the Jonin. Jiraiya tells them that they pass, while absolutely brimming with pride, and Kakashi was as well. They all rest for the night before heading back to the village. They get back, and Sasuke has to try and keep up with Naruto, who broke into a full sprint, getting back to his home. They jump up on top of a building, and Naruto proudly exclaims that he has returned, with every shinobi looking up at him like he was Jesus or something. Sakura flags them down and tells them that they should go see Lady Tsunade, as she was waiting to see how their training went. They head to the Hokage's office, and Tsunade had to do a double take, as she didn't recognise them straight away, commenting on how much they had both grown up. Jiraiya and Kakashi walking behind them, smiling at Tsunade, who asks how the training went, with Jiraiya telling her that they passed the final test with flying colours. Tsunade and Sakura look ecstatic to hear this, and Tsunade congratulates them by telling them that from now on, the former Team 7 will be a Jonin team led by Kakashi Hatake. Naruto and Sasuke are gobsmacked, as they never even got their Chunin rank, but Tsunade explains that they had done a lot for the village, and are some of the strongest ninjas they have if they could beat a high-level Jonin like Kakashi and one of the legendary Sannin. Shizune then pulls out 2 specially made flak jackets, both with the crest of the Uchiha clan on the back, as they had been put in the bingo books for killing the Sound 4. So they think it's fair that they should have something that distinguishes them from normal Jonin. Much like Kakashi. I mean, Kakashi doesn't really need anything, he's got that mask on it all the fucking time and the white hair. They thank Tsunade, with Sasuke letting out a single tear, as the Uchiha clan is still strong and alive through him and his brother. But the touching moment gets put on hold as a ninja bursts through the door with terrible news. The Kazekage had been kidnapped. Naruto's eyes go slit-like as Tsunade tells him that the new Kazekage is Gaara. Naruto and Sasuke put on their jackets and the newly reformed Team 7 head out the village towards the hidden sand. Team 7 are running through the forest towards the hidden sand, and after all their training, they were able to cut the 3-day trip down to only 2 days, with Naruto actually carrying Sakura for a portion of the journey, who needed to stop and rest. As they get to the border, they see Kankuro on the floor, having been poisoned, and Team 7 getting there faster than the original, so he's not already at the hospital. Sakura tells them that after her training with Lady Tsunade, she can try to stabilise him before they get to the village. Naruto puts a flying Raijin mark on her and tells her that he'll be back when he gets to the village. Sakura looks confused, but the rest of the team say that you'll find out what that means soon enough. When they get to the village, Naruto teleports back to Sakura, grabs her and Kankuro, and teleports to the mark that was still on Kakashi from their training. They hurry towards the hospital to save Kankuro, and this happens the same as the original, with Granny Chiyo trying to attack Kakashi because he looked like his dad. After all that gets cleared up, the team get told which way Gaara's attacker went, and they set off, and after a while they come face to face with the Itachi 30% clone. Naruto and Sasuke activate their Sharingan, as this put both of them on edge, seeing Itachi again. Kakashi was about to activate his Mangekyo, but Naruto and Sasuke put their arms out, signalling to Kakashi that they need to do this alone. So Kakashi stays back with Sakura and Granny Chiyo, while Naruto and Sasuke launch at Itachi, ready to put their past firmly behind them. But whilst fighting him, they get a feeling that something is wrong. They expected Itachi to have more power and be a lot stronger than this. Then Naruto looks at Itachi's chakra closer and realises that he has only about a third of his total chakra, after he's seen what his chakra looked like during the Tsunade retrieval mission. And also, he sees someone else's dormant chakra like it was someone being possessed. Sasuke pulls out his sword and drives it straight through Itachi's heart, but the illusion was dispelled and the real person fell to the ground, having already been dead before the ritual. This got Sasuke very angry, as he thought that his nightmares was well and truly behind him. They continued on, but Naruto kept an eye on Sasuke the entire time, as he could tell that Sasuke was thinking about revenge, and now is probably a flight risk again. After another hour, they come to a big door with a huge boulder blocking the entrance. Kakashi tells them about the seals, and that they have to tear off the tags that are scattered around. But Naruto just activates his Nine-Tails cloak and puts all his chakra into his hand, throwing a full power punch at the boulder, turning it into rubble and dust. Gaara was in the middle of the room, being drained, but drops to the floor as the ritual stops, due to Team 7 crashing the party. Deidara jumps down and sits on Gaara's body, with Sasori stood next to him. They tell them that they shouldn't have come here, but Naruto and Sasuke activate their Sharingan once again, each taking one of the Akatsuki members. Sasuke takes Sasori, and Naruto follows Deidara, who had just taken Gaara's body with him. Sasuke, using his Sharingan, can quickly tell that Sasori is inside of a puppet, and can see that the weaknesses are the joints. So he charges his Chidori Senbon to strike everyone, breaking the puppet open, revealing the real Sasura. But he could tell that this was also a puppet, although this time he could see the source of the chakra came from his chest. So Sasuke charges as Chidori and lunges at Sasura, who was distracted by seeing Granny Chio and talking shit to her. Thrusting his arm into his chest, destroying the canister and killing Sasura. Unfortunately, this means that Sasori doesn't tell them that Kabuto was a spy and was meeting him at the bridge to give information about Orochimaru. But hey, swings and roundabouts, Sasori's dead. Naruto was running after Deidara at full sprint with Kakashi, telling him that they need to get him off the dragon in order to save Gaara. Naruto nods in agreement and makes 2 shadow clones. He puts a Raijin mark on Kakashi and tells Kakashi to be ready to jump at Deidara. Naruto creates the Rasen Shuriken. Kakashi jumps towards Deidara, and Naruto teleports on top of Kakashi, jumping off him like a platform, and launches the Shuriken at Deidara, hitting him, knocking him off the dragon, and exploding in midair, completely destroying his body. This time, Deidara is well and truly dead. The dragon loses its chakra and begins to dissolve, but a shadow clone of Naruto's grabs Gaara before he hits the floor, saving his life. They all get back to the sand village, and Gaara wakes up, this time still having 50% of Shikaku. He thanks Naruto for saving him not once but twice, and being the reason for the person he is today. Naruto smiles widely and tells Gaara that someday he will become Hokage. Gaara smiles and tells him that on that day they will have to have a drink together to celebrate. Team 7 get back to the Hidden Leaf Village by Naruto teleporting to the Hokage office, reporting to Tsunade that the village was a complete success. Gaara was back at the village, and 2 Akatsuki members were dead, Deidara and Sasori of the Red Sand. Tsunade pays them for an S-rank mission, and tells Sasuke and Naruto to be careful. They will probably have huge bounties on their heads from Rogue Ninja, as they are quite powerful. Naruto smiles, saying bring them on, but Sasuke keeps quiet, still thinking about Itachi. Naruto picks up on this, and when they leave the mansion, Naruto pulls Sasuke to one side and tells him that he knows what he's thinking, and after that fight, he thinks that they may be ready to face Itachi when they come up against him. But they can't simply leave the village for their own goals. Sasuke agrees with this and tells Naruto that he thinks the exact same. But if he has a chance to find Itachi, they have to take it. Naruto once again agrees with that. When they get back to the compound, they live in the same house that they grew up in. It was covered in dust, so Naruto made 5 shadow clones to make cleaning up take no time at all. After they clean up, Sasuke starts cooking something to eat, but they both become on edge again when a crow with a Sharingan flies in through the window with a message attached to his leg. The message said that it had been too long, boys. I think it's time we talked. Come to the Uchiha hideout in 4 days, and the past will be revealed to you. From Itachi. This confirms to Naruto that Itachi had a real reason to kill the clan, but they needed to find out that reason. Sasuke looks at Naruto and tells him that they need to keep this between them for now. If they tell anyone about it, it's possible they will get them killed as well. Naruto takes a few minutes, but agrees with Sasuke, and they start packing their bags, ready as they have a long road ahead of them. Naruto puts a mark inside their house, not only making it faster to get home, but as a backup plan if this goes wrong. With all this taken care of, they head off, ready for the truth and to end their nightmares once and for all. As Naruto and Sasuke headed towards the Uchiha hideout, they have a conversation that they haven't had in years. Sasuke tries to convince Naruto to let Sasuke fight their brother alone. But just like before, Naruto stood his ground and told Sasuke that they need to find the truth. Because clearly Itachi had a reason to kill the clan beyond testing his abilities, and there's no way you're doing that without me. Sasuke tried to argue, but could see the determination in Naruto's eyes, and thought that it was pointless arguing. He thought this with a smile, however, as he had thought the same, and it brought some kind of hope to him that maybe his brother wasn't a cold-blooded killer after all. As they get closer to the hideout, they had small run-ins with bandits here and there, which they took out easily, actually making small amounts of money, as the victims could clearly see that they were leaf shinobi, and they could probably do with being paid for doing something good. I just thought it'd be nice to add something productive on their journey towards there, not just walking. After the 4 days, they come to the road to the hideout, and standing there was Kisame, who told them that the reason he was stood there was to stop anyone but you two from going any further. But as they were on their own, he will take his leave. Kisame leaves, and the two Uchihas step into the hideout, and on the opposite side of the room, sat on a throne, was their elder brother, Itachi Uchiha. Itachi tells them that it's been a long time. Do you hold enough hatred for me yet? But Naruto answers, saying he hates what he did. But he has a question himself. Why did he kill the clan? Itachi tells him that it was to test his abilities, but Naruto replied, saying, then why were you crying that night? Itachi freezes hearing this question, and Sasuke shouts at him to answer the question, clearly being more angry than Naruto. Itachi stands up and downs a bottle of medicine. He tells them that he will answer any questions that they have if they manage to beat him. But if he wins, then he wins. Sasuke gripped his sword tight and unsheathed his blade, while Naruto activates his chakra gauntlets, and they both activate their Sharingan. Itachi does the same and thinks to himself that if he loses, then he has to tell them the truth, so he has to win here. The fight starts with Sasuke launching towards Itachi, but Itachi dodges the sword strike and lunges at Naruto, putting him under a powerful genjutsu, keeping the fight one-on-one for now. But Kurama pushes chakra out of the cage into Naruto, shocking his system and breaking out of the genjutsu easily. Itachi gets shocked when he goes to fight Sasuke, but a chain wraps around his leg and he gets pulled towards Naruto, who had a small Rasengan in his hand. Itachi bursts into crows, getting away from both of them, thinking this will be harder than he thought, while Sasuke and Naruto were thinking the same thing. Itachi knows it's going to be risky, but he activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, giving him a bit more of an edge. He starts to take on the two boys simultaneously, always looking for the opportunity to knock one of them away, making it a one-on-one again. But as the fight continues, Naruto and Sasuke adapted quicker and quicker to Itachi's speeds and techniques. Itachi knows that he has to keep his secrets to himself, so he does something drastic and something that he never wanted to do. He runs straight at Naruto, using more speed, and after a small flurry of attacks, he makes eye contact and puts Naruto under Tsukuyomi. Itachi attacks Sasuke, with the fight going forward the same as canon for now. In Naruto's mind, he gets stabbed over and over by Itachi, but Naruto doesn't scream and doesn't make a sound. Instead, he had his eyes closed, talking to Kurama. Kurama tells him that the amount of chakra needed to break this genjutsu is something that he can't give Naruto without him being directly in front of the cage. Naruto activates his Sharingan in his mind and locates the cage in a part of his mind. He focuses on the cage so much that the strain is making his nose bleed in the real world. And after a lot of effort, he brings the cage closer to him, with Kurama pouring a lot of chakra into Naruto, more than ever before. The seal on the cage starts to dissolve from the sheer amount of power coming out, and something changes. The dark hole that Naruto is stuck inside explodes with orange light, and Naruto wakes up in the real world, covered in the orange chakra of KCM1. He stands up and sees Sasuke getting launched into a wall with a lot of force. But before Sasuke hits the wall, Itachi sees a blur of orange light stop him from hitting the wall and running towards him, delivering a huge punch to Itachi, knocking him through the ceiling and onto the roof. Sasuke looks at Naruto, amazed at this new strength, knowing that it's from the Nine Tails, but they have no time and they both jump up after Itachi. Itachi stands up smiling and tells Naruto that he is surprised he managed to tame the fox, with Kurama growling, offended at the concept of being tamed. Sasuke says that it's time to finish it, and both of them launch fireballs into the sky, making rain clouds form, and Sasuke jumps back, sending lightning chakra through his hand, throwing the lightning dragon at Itachi. But when the smoke clears, Itachi is stood there with his Susanoo activated, shocking the two Uchiha. Itachi starts smiling and could now see that they were both very strong, but with his last moments, he needed to see how powerful they had become. He started walking towards the two boys, and Naruto thinks up a new possible ace in the hole. He tells Sasuke to use the curse mark for more power and get ready with another dragon. Sasuke wonders what he was thinking, but when Naruto starts charging an attack, he smiles, thinking that is pure genius. Sasuke launches another dragon, and Naruto launches a Rasen Shuriken just above Itachi, getting hit by the lightning, exploding into a devastating torrent of lightning, destroying the Susanoo and leaving Itachi on the floor. Itachi gets up and with a genuine smile tells Naruto and Sasuke everything about the massacre, but he does leave out that he was ordered to do it, to try and keep him on the right path. He tells them that he had no choice, but he made sure that the two of them would be okay, and they would be the ones who got revenge for the clan. He tells them that the one thing he truly regrets was not being able to watch them grow up. Naruto and Sasuke start crying, knowing that Itachi killed the clan for the right reasons, and it completely destroyed him to do it. Itachi slowly walks to them, using the last bit of his strength he had left, and puts his fingers on their forehead, before passing on to the Pure Lands. Naruto and Sasuke fall to the floor exhausted, and Sasuke feels burning in his eyes before they both pass out from chakra depletion and the raw emotional roller coaster that they had both just been through. Naruto and Sasuke wake up in a nearby cave with nothing inside apart from a man in a mask and an Akatsuki cloak. Naruto tried to activate his Sharingan and tried to use KCM, but Kurama tells him that the amount of chakra it took in the battle with Itachi, and that it was the first time using the form, Kurama needs more time to charge his chakra to use it again. When Sasuke sees the masked man, his Mangekyo Sharingan automatically activates, and a blast of Amaterasu engulfs the ninja, but he takes no damage from this. This is when the masked man tells the boys that his name is Madara Uchiha and can give them revenge on the leaf. Naruto gets a slight pain in his head as Itachi left him with a subtle genjutsu with no malicious intent, which is why Kurama either didn't see it or he did see it, but he allowed it. Itachi appears in Naruto's mind, warning him about Madara and not to trust him at all, no matter what he says. When Naruto comes around after the message, Obito is in the middle of telling Sasuke that Danzo is the one who gave Itachi the order to kill the clan, which Naruto could see the rage bubbling up inside Sasuke, and tries to calm him down, telling him what Itachi had said to him. But Obito cuts him off by saying that at this moment, his master Jiraiya is in the Hidden Rain village, and is probably about to die any moment now. When the boys hear this, they both become enraged that this would happen to their master. But Sasuke tells Naruto that he's going to go with Madara and get revenge. He needs to save and Naruto needs to save their sensei. Before Naruto could protest in any way, Obito was already using camera on himself and Sasuke and simply says "tick-tock" to Naruto, which is probably would be quite sinister in that, moment. They then disappear. With no time to spare, Naruto uses Flying Raijin to the mark that was already on Jiraiya and finds him with multiple chakra rods in his back. Naruto quickly pulls out and breaks the rods, grabs Jiraiya, throws a smoke bomb, and takes him back to the Leaf Village, while also leaving a mark in the Hidden Rain. Naruto sends a Shadow Clone quickly to help, while the real Naruto is holding the bleeding Jiraiya. Bleeding, not bleeding. Jiraiya weakly tells Naruto that he is proud of him and Sasuke for becoming so strong as to take out Itachi, and then tells Naruto that of course he knew what they were doing. He has a spy network. Jiraiya chuckles and continues, telling Naruto that he is the child of prophecy and he must strive for true peace between the villages. He must carry Jiraiya's will and keep his dream alive. Naruto cries, telling Jiraiya to hold on. Help is coming, but Jiraiya pulls Naruto into a hug and tells him that the story of Jiraiya the Gallant is over. The story of peace has begun, before he passes on to the Pure Lands, just like Itachi did. Naruto holds Jiraiya, crying uncontrollably for the loss of his sensei. Naruto starts feeling true rage, something he hasn't felt in years. His rage was so strong and all-consuming that Sasuke could feel it from where he was with Obito. Sasuke lets out a single tear, knowing that Jiraiya is well and truly dead. Naruto puts Jiraiya down, and seeing the blood that covered his hands, Naruto was suddenly overcome with pain. His stomach felt like it had been slammed into by Tsunade at full power, and Naruto's eyes started burning. Naruto closes his eyes due to this pain, and when he opens them, he can see everything much more clearly than before. He can see a fly in mid-flight, almost like it was frozen. He blinks, and the fly starts moving again. He looks into the mirror and can see that he has awakened his own Mangekyo Sharingan. Kurama then tells him that the cage has been destroyed completely, so now Naruto could use his full power. Naruto, in response to these two power-ups, very big ones at the same time to be fair, teleports back to the Hidden Rain and is stood face to face with the 6 Paths of Pain. He activates his KCM mode, but this isn't KCM, it's KCM2. His power is so overwhelming that the real Nagato is shocked and flinches due to the killing intent coming from Naruto. Naruto uses a Rasen Shuriken quite easily from being in KCM2 and launches it towards the animal and human path, killing them instantly. While the Naraka path runs over to bring them both back, the Deva path uses Almighty Push to throw Naruto away. But Naruto was focused on the Naraka path, wondering what he was doing, and his right eye's ability activates. The Naraka path's body starts compressing more and more until he is completely and utterly destroyed. Naruto's right eye has access to a chakra cage, which he can control to crush people into dust, or simply put them in a cage similar to like wood style. Bear in mind this is happening while Naruto is still being launched through the air. When he lands, he looks up and sees the Asura path in front of him, aiming a large chakra cannon right towards him, with no way for Naruto to really dodge it, as the chakra had already been fired. Naruto braces himself and hears a loud explosion, but doesn't feel any pain. When he opens his eyes, he sees that he is surrounded by a dark red ribcage made of chakra. Knowing that this is the Susanoo, he doesn't waste any time and dashes towards the Asura path, punching him into little pieces. Little metallic pieces, to be fair. The Pratapath throws his hands towards the Susanoo, trying to take its chakra, but Naruto, before he even has chance, rips his head clean off his body and crushes it between his hands while looking directly at the last path of pain, the Deva path. This is when Kurama tells Naruto that he can feel hatred coming from him, but the hate is only being sent through him like a signal. Kind of like Wi-Fi. So Kurama tells Naruto that he will have to stop using KCM for the moment, so he can pinpoint the location. Naruto drops out of the mode, but it doesn't really matter, as his Susanoo was progressing very quickly. He already had the full skeletal form, and starts beating the Deva path, who tried to use Almighty Push, but for some reason he stopped mid-attack, and while Naruto was hitting him, he didn't seem to move. Not knowing why this is, Naruto keeps hitting him with no effect whatsoever. Until Naruto, using too much chakra, along with his other eyes, falls out of his Susanoo. The Deva path, all of a sudden, gets pulverized and ripped apart. Naruto catches on that his left eye's ability is Time Stop, which I've just realised, in tandem with his other eye, KCM2 and Susanoo, is incredibly overpowered, but as it's near the end of the series, why not? Kurama then informs Naruto that he has located the real pain, and Naruto activates KCM again, getting to the tree that Nagato is hiding inside in a matter of seconds. He gives Nagato the Taught no Jutsu, but Nagato tells Naruto that the only thing he can do is kill himself and destroy the Rinnegan, so no one else can ever do this ever again. I'm gonna say the reason he can't bring Jiraiya back is because he is simply too far away. And while Naruto could use Flying Raijin to get him, Nagato either didn't think about that or wanted it over as quickly as possible. But before Nagato can kill himself, Obito appears and takes Nagato's Rinnegan, only managing to get one, as Conan already had the other and destroyed it, knowing that something was probably coming. As, let's face it, she is a great sensory ninja. Obito leaves, and Sasuke is a heap on the floor. He got to touch his eyes, but tried to kill Obito, and Obito knew that this might happen, because, well, of Naruto trying to basically tell Sasuke what Itachi told him. So he used Kamui and blitzed Sasuke. Naruto helps him up, and Sasuke tells Naruto that he's sorry that he wasn't there when their master died, but he needed to know the full story. Naruto says he understands and uses flying Raijin to take them both home and give their sensei a proper burial. Everyone in the village attends the funeral, paying their respects to the fallen Sannin. I mean, it's Jiraiya, I think I'd pay respect to him as well. After the funeral, Tsunade asks Naruto to come to the mansion and tell her what happened, to which Naruto explains everything. After hearing it all, Tsunade informs the other villagers that they need to organise a 5 Kage summit to help to battle the Akatsuki threat once and for all. To which the Hidden Cloud was thinking the exact same thing, as some of the members attacked and tried to kidnap Killer Bee. Tsunade, Naruto, Sasuke and Kakashi go to the Land of Iron for the 5 Kage summit. The Raikage, opens up the floor by shouting and posturing, saying that the Akatsuki need to be dealt with. Kisame, along with some of the other members, tries to kidnap their Jinchuriki Killer Bee. He doesn't know why they tried to take him out, but it can't be good. And he sees this as a declaration of war. Mifune calls for the Raikage to calm down, as this isn't strictly the Hidden Cloud, but a matter of every village. With A retorting by saying the Leaf still have their Jinchuriki, pointing at Naruto, and the Sand lost their tail beast, pointing at Gaara. Gaara also insists for him to calm down, but A starts shouting again, with the whole meeting eventually devolving into a screaming match between the 5 Kage, which didn't surprise Naruto or Sasuke, as Tsunade had warned them beforehand that the meeting may end up like this. After a while of people hurling insults at each other, they all stop due to a masked man appearing in the middle of all of them. Naruto and Sasuke activate their Mangekyo Sharingans immediately, on guard. Don't know why I paused then, but never mind. When the Raikage asks who this is, Naruto answers, telling him that this is Madara Uchiha, and probably the man responsible for all of this. Obito confirms this straight up lie that he's Madara, and tells the Kage to hand over their Jinchuriki peacefully, as with them he will create a world without conflict, a world without war, and a truly peaceful planet. But no one's buying this. In fact, the Tsuchikage starts readying his dust release, and Naruto tries making the point of true peace cannot be created through a genjutsu. It must be made between the people who still have free will, and it is possible. Obito looks at Naruto and asks if he means the kind of peace that comes from forgiving people who have wronged you, people who have killed your family, beasts even that have killed your family for no reason. Inside Naruto, Kurama hangs his head, knowing that the man was talking directly about him. But he asks Naruto to switch with him so that he can talk, to which Naruto does willingly, because it's Kurama and they're actually really good friends at the moment. Well, they're already good friends. Kurama snarls at Obito, telling him that the only reason that happened was because you ripped me out of Naruto's mother and forced me to destroy the village on your behalf. Sasuke's eyes widened hearing this, and an angry expression appeared on his face. His uncle, Naruto's father, was killed by the Nine Tails because of this man. Because of this man, he doesn't know. He hasn't met his uncle. Sasuke asks Kurama to switch back with Naruto, and Naruto surfaces again. Sasuke tells Naruto that this man deserves to die right here, to which Naruto, even though he doesn't like killing people, agrees and tries using his chakra cage, with no effect. Sasuke tried to use Amaterasu, but that just phased right through Obito, not leaving a mark. Obito says that he is disappointed. Very well, I declare war on all of you, the Fourth Great Shinobi War, before using Kamura and leaving them all speechless. After a few moments, the room erupts in shouting once more, with everyone pretty much saying the same thing but in different ways. that Madara needs to be stopped. After a while of this, Naruto shouts for them all to shut the fuck up, activating his Susanoo to get their attention. He tells them all that he has a renegade. He tells them all that Obito has a Rinnegan, or Madara, to him, and he will destroy the entire world if he hasn't stopped. But if you can't stop arguing amongst yourselves, the world is already doomed and doesn't stand a chance. Gaara chuckles slightly and says that Naruto's right. He always is. They come to the conclusion of making the allied shinobi forces and to keep the Jinchuriki away. To which Naruto tells them to shove it. He's not staying out of this fight. The Raikage smiles, saying that he likes his spirit, but they can't risk letting Madara get his hands on him. Naruto says fine, and challenges the Raikage, telling him if Naruto wins, he'll be able to fight, but if the Raikage wins, Naruto will sit it out completely. With no arguing, that's all. The Raikage accepts and activates his lightning cloak, charging towards Naruto, who, while he had his Mangekyo Sharingan activated, uses time stop and simply moves out of the way, making the Raikage go through the wall. The Raikage charges again, and he again uses time stop. Quite a few times, to be honest, because Naruto doesn't really want to hit him, even though he did challenge him. But eventually has enough of this, stops him, and sends him flying with a big Rasengan. The Raikage gets up, acknowledging Naruto's skill, and says that they should let him fight, as long as he stays away from that man. Naruto grunts, but reluctantly agrees. But Naruto starts feeling a bit weird, and notices that his vision has gone a bit blurry from using Mangekyo Sharingan and his Susanoo, which is nearly complete, and his Susanoo weapon is a kind of chain whip, which can harden into a sword. Like, I'm sure someone has a similar weapon on Soul Calibur. I don't know if it's 4 or 5, but yeah, that kind of thing, but much longer. Kurama heals Naruto's eyes, but warns Naruto that doing this will deplete his chakra, leaving him with less overall. So not too much, but slightly less powerful. Naruto thanks Kurama and grabs Tsunade, Kakashi, and Sasuke, teleporting back to the leaf. While Kakashi and Tsunade go to warn everyone about what's happening, Naruto pulls Sasuke to one side and asks why he was getting blurry eyes. He might be going blind. To which Sasuke explains that overuse of a normal Mangekyo Sharingan renders the user's eyes useless, and he theorizes that just how Naruto Susanoo was developing quite quickly, maybe his blindness is accelerated as well. He also explains that he has Itachi's eyes. Combining with your family's eyes gives you EMS, which not only stops the blindness, but makes your abilities much stronger as well. But the family member has to have a Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto gets worried, as he may not be able to fight at all, at full power, but even at all, as he might not be able to see. But Kurama asks to talk to him. Naruto closes his eyes and starts talking to Kurama, asking what he wants. Kurama says that the Mangekyo Sharingan is activated from watching someone close to you die, isn't it? So it's quite possible that before your father and mother died, Minato, while watching Kushina pass away, may have activated his Mangekyo Sharingan in the last moments. Kurama then apologises to Naruto, but Naruto tells him it was a long time ago, and he understands that because of Madara, he was extremely angry. During the night, Naruto and Sasuke go to the cemetery and reluctantly dig up the grave of the 4th Hokage, seeing if Kurama was right. They eventually hit the coffin and open it, and inside was Naruto's father Minato. Naruto slowly reaches down and opens Minato's eyes. Naruto shed a single tear, telling his father that he's sorry, and he plucks his eyes out. While gagging, as you'd expect from ripping someone's eyes out, Naruto puts his eyes in a jar and heads to the Hokage's office, knowing that he will need Tsunade's help. He walks in and bluntly asks Tsunade if she could perform a quick eye surgery while he was holding the jar in front of her. Tsunade looks puzzled, and Sasuke explains what happened with the Sharingan, and this is pretty much the only way to stop you from going blind and give you more power. Tsunade says that she'll do it, but they don't have much time before they have to go to the battlefield. So it will be very painful, as there's no anesthetics about. Naruto looks scared, but tells her to do it. Sasuke holds Naruto still, while Tsunade takes out Naruto's eyes and implants Minato's. Tsunade uses medical ninjutsu to reconnect the nerve endings and the chakra pathways, and to put Naruto out of pain. And after it's done, Naruto opens his eyes, revealing his new Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto can feel power pulsing from his eyes, something that he's never, not to this extent, not felt before, and knows that it worked before looking into the mirror. After this, the start of the war and everything before the real Madara shows up pretty much happens the same way. The only difference is that the Shinobi forces are doing a lot better with Naruto and Sasuke being there. Eventually, Madara arrives on the battlefield, the real Madara, and both Naruto and Sasuke stand at the front of the forces, ready to take down the one man who ruined the Uchiha name. All three of them, don't start Stephen, all three of them activate their Susanoo, and all have perfect form of the Susanoo. Imagine being a normal ninja at that point. A blue, a purple, and a dark red giant staring each other down. I mean, you'd feel quite insignificant at that point, wouldn't you? Anyway, they get into a massive clash, showing how powerful Madara is, that even with the combined strength of Sasuke and Naruto, they only just managed to hold him off. Madara compliments the boys on their skill, but tells them that it's over for them, while using a single hand sign. They see a huge shadow on the floor, and look up to see a huge meteor falling from the sky about to crush them. Naruto throws a massive Rasen Shuriken towards it, with Sasuke using Amaterasu, making that really long jutsu that Minato named. I'm not even going to try and say it, because, well, it's way too long in the actual show, and I'll probably butcher it, to be fair. They destroy it with parts of the huge rock raining down before completely burning up. Madara claps sarcastically and asks, what are they going to do about the second one? They look up and see that from the smoke that was created by destroying the first, a second meteor is coming down, too close to destroy, as it will kill some shinobi. The fallout will kill some shinobi. Naruto tries to stop it with Time Stop, but something unexpected happens. The meteor starts going back up, as Naruto is now rewinding time, just on the meteor. Madara is immensely surprised by this, saying that if Naruto had been born earlier, he would have loved to have him as an apprentice instead of Obito. With enough room now, Naruto and Sasuke use the same move to destroy it, and they turn to Madara, who started glowing. It seems Itachi managed to make Kabuto undo Edo Tensei. He does this the same way he does in canon. Somehow in this timeline, he escaped the control of Kabuto. I didn't think about that. I've only just realised that I've not wrote that. But yeah, that's Yeah, Itachi's gone and messed up with Kabuto. But they see Madara use hand signs, making a contract seal, keeping him inside his body, keeping him able to fight. Obito then appears next to Madara, who asks where the other Rinnegan is, but Obito tells him it was destroyed. That girl Conan destroyed it. She must have known I was coming to get it. There's a lot of it's. Madara gets annoyed, as he knows that the plan had failed. He needs both eyes to use Infinite Tsukuyomi. He calls for Black Setsu, who takes over Obito's body and uses Rinne Rebirth, as Zetsu thinks Madara had another idea, but in reality he wanted to feel his blood coursing through his veins while fighting again. He plucks Obito's eyes out and puts them into his own face, now having a real Rinnegan and Obito's Sharingan. He then takes out Black Zetsu with a chakra rod, as he has no need for him anymore. They failed miserably. Madara uses Almighty Push on the allied shinobi forces, except Naruto and Sasuke, who were stood there speechless at the power emanating from him. They waste no time, however, as Naruto uses KCM2 and rushes towards Madara, swinging at him, but missing pretty much every hit. Even with Sasuke joining, Madara still had the upper hand. Sasuke takes point, seeing in Naruto's eyes that he does have an idea. Naruto falls back a bit and creates a Rasen Shuriken, then adding the Chidori through it, coursing through the middle. Knowing that they only have one chance, as this leaves him short on chakra, but it will be devastating. He makes it bigger and more powerful, even adding mini-tailed beast bombs orbiting the centre. He tells Sasuke to move and uses the chakra cage to bind Madara, and he throws his new technique. With his overwhelming power, Madara breaks free of the cage and jumps, avoiding the attack. But he's shocked and filled with dread when he sees Naruto smiling, and that something is attached to the jutsu. One of Naruto's chakra chains is attached to it, leading to Naruto, who yanks the jutsu upwards, making a direct hit on Madara, putting him down for good, after Sasuke adds Amaterasu to it just to make sure. I don't care how powerful Madara is, I don't see him getting up from that. The allied shinobi forces cheer that the war is over with a victory, as Naruto falls down nearly completely out of chakra. But Sasuke catches him and sits down with him slowly. They both have huge smiles on their faces, as everyone chants the same sentence: "All hail the Uchiha." Sasuke looks at Naruto, telling him that he never ceases to amaze him, with Naruto putting his hand behind his head, laughing and telling Sasuke that here he should treat him to a bowl of ramen later. Sasuke laughs himself, and from the crowd runs out Kashi and Sakura, who both hug the two boys tightly, telling them that they had no doubt that they would be the ones to finish this. After the celebrations were over on the battlefield, Naruto makes his way to the Gedo statue and extracts the tailed beasts one by one, setting them free. Some of the ninjas were scared, but the Kurama avatar that Naruto had let out assures them all that they won't hurt anyone unless you attack them, of course. All the tailed beasts thank Naruto for saving them, and each give Naruto some of their power as gratitude. Naruto thanks them, but also asks if any of them would be sealed again by choice. Just wondering. And surprisingly, the ones that said yes included Shikaku, but he points towards Gaara and says that he will only go back inside the Kazekage brat. Gaara blushes slightly, but accepts him back, as he hasn't felt whole without him. He hasn't felt whole for a very long time. After everything is all over, Sasuke and Naruto once again teleport back to the village, being hailed as heroes of the ninja world. The events of the last movie go pretty much the same, as I don't really see anything changing there. Maybe it's just over a bit faster with Sasuke also joining in. But again, I think Sasuke might stay back in the village instead of going to the moon. Naruto becomes Hokage, ushering a new era of peace, and Sasuke actually becomes head of the police force, which, until new Uchiha are born and are old enough, is mostly occupied by the Inuzuka clan, because, smell and dogs. And with that, I'll be leaving Naruto Uchiha to live the rest of his life without my interference. Even though I will admit I do hate endings. I hate listening to them, I hate writing them. But either way, I hope you all liked this series, and most importantly for me, it's the first series I ever wrote and the first series I ever finished. So, don't know how to feel about that. But please like, subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you all in my next series. Bye.